What up, guys? We are live. So we got John Anthony joining us, and also John Anthony joining us. No, your name is Josh, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to change your name to Josh? Because it might get confusing because you guys both have the same name.
Yeah. This is a carryover from the last time. Give me a second.
I can change it here. I'll do it for you. There we go. Bam, done. And also, Vincent, I saw you in the chat. We've never chatted, but if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. I dropped the link. So yeah, guys. So we're gonna do.
Emailed the link. Yep.
We're gonna do a pretty cool live. Let's all be pretty respectful in the chat. Let's focus on the topics at hand. Not let this go into some really random shit that this is not about. So that's the request I'm making. Okay, so
before we start, how many sex videos do you film in this little living room area with that light setup?
I filmed a grand total of 0 sex videos right in that spot. I filmed a few in my bedroom, but I've never actually done one because I have a roommate. And pretty much for most girls, it's kind of a deal breaker that like my Indian roommate could come out at any time. So
somebody said that Nitten's eating pussy on your new product.
Yeah. You didn't see that? I sent you a copy of the product. I thought you had that. No,
I didn't go through yet.
Oh yeah, it's in there. I can. Okay, guys. Also, no spamming. And I am gonna do one rule we have is there's no spamming. Okay, so let's put this here and come out. Okay, so yeah, so basically, I'll send you the link for that. Okay, you want to start off with a quick intro? I know everyone knows who you are, John, but let's just do it again, and you as well, Josh.
Okay, so I run John Anthony Lifestyle. I actually started my company originally with Josh, who we have on the stream, back in 2013. I taught briefly for RSD, 3 or 4 programs. He was the lead instructor for Sasha Day Game at the time. And we formed a company together focusing on an efficient, effective, and optimized method. And very quickly, even in 2013, we started getting a lot of guys laid 2 or 3 nights out of the 3-day live boot camps we were running. And we were kind of legends on the RSD Nation forums back in the day. We filmed a lot of Infield together in 2014 with 5 nights out a week for several months. And he got married briefly in 2015. And then I kind of kept the torch going with the company. And then he became, you only married like a year, right?
Yeah, well, I was together with him for like 7 years, married for 1. But yeah, so did that. And then, so like you said, I started off teaching for Sasha Day Game. Met John. We started Efficient Pickup. We did that. We filmed like a year of Infield. We ran tons and tons of boot camps.
Breaking down Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Our boot camps like crushed. Then
Josh, you're freezing on your end. John, are you seeing that, or is that just
I think it's just he just has a bad connection or something.
I'm on a desktop that's hardwired into the internet.
Let's just try to make the best out of it. All right, there he is. Yo, what up, buddy?
What's up? Trying to figure out. There we go. Sitting in the car waiting for this game to start.
Someone said the stream is going to crash from too many legit guys on at once.
Nice.
Yeah. No, Jay is basically he's formally partnered with my brand. I was really impressed. I look at him as like my equivalent in the fitness space. He has an optimized system for fitness to get guys to their fitness goals as quick as possible, and he also has tons of empirical proof. He's been in like every major fitness magazine as a fitness model. So, yeah, but you can intro yourself as well.
Yeah. My goal is really to just provide evidence-based recommendations for exercise. And, I've been the past 7 or 8 years, I've been in my own personal training studios that I opened from scratch with nothing myself. And the past 8 years, I train 50 to 70 sessions a week, totaling over 20,000 sessions. And I pretty much found what works the best, what's the safest, and it happens to be the most time efficient. So basically what I do now is just teach these principles that have been around for the last 60 years or so.
Nice, man. Yeah, I always said this, that I think there's a lot of overlap between the fitness industry and the pickup industry, meaning 90% of the guys are scammers. There's a lot of quick fixes
Yeah.
and easy solutions being promised, like get a six pack in like 7 days. Obviously, everyone knows that's not going to happen. There's a whole bunch of people who take massive amounts of steroids, posturing as naturals, i.e., the pickup equivalent of that. A whole bunch of guys who are saying they're fucking girls, but they're not actually fucking anybody, or they're fucking prostitutes. So you have like a whole bunch of shit like that. So I always thought there was a lot of overlap between the two industries. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no. When I interviewed Jay on my channel, I was like, "How many other fitness channels do you recommend?" And he was like, "Only like 2." And he was like, "And they're not that popular." And I was like, "Dude, like I was only recommending Alex from Playing with Fire for like the first 3 years of my channel, and then I started recommending Bradicus as well, and now he's been kicked off the internet. But now I recommend Jay and Bulldog Mindset along with Alex and Playing with Fire. But yeah, I mean, it's like the real experts are like so few and far between.
What do you think about Renaissance periodization, Dr. Mike Israel?
Renaissance periodization?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's, so I know a guy who's known him personally. He's kind of like an arrogant, kind of condescending type of guy. So here's the thing, keep in mind where people, so I believe he has a degree in exercise science, but we need to remember where the curriculum comes from. The curriculum comes from the NSCA. And the NSCA has had the same guidelines since the 1960s. Even with advancement in exercise science literature, they have not changed their guidelines when it comes to exercise application and the training approaches. So what you'll see is a lot of advocacy research being done by people who are on the board of the NSCA. Brad Schoenfeld is one of them, for pretty much the mere sake of upholding these training principles that are in a lot of the college curriculum, that are in almost all of the personal training certifications. Because consider, what are they going to do? Even if science advances and there's literature that shows what they previously taught isn't necessarily the best. Well, you've got tons of people with exercise science degrees, personal training certifications. What are they going to do? Say, oops, we were wrong. Now go take another one? No, they can't. So what they've done for the most part is just kind of do advocacy research to uphold these old traditions, which by really good peer-reviewed non-advocacy research has been debunked since about the 1970s, actually. So I spent a lot of time on my channel going over this research and showing the differences between it.
Well, I guess
Josh,
your take is a lot more aesthetic than his, so I mean, I guess.
Yo, Josh, this is exactly what I was saying before we started. Remember I was saying? But okay, yo, Jay, I want to ask you this. What do you think about More Plates, More Dates? Because I've always been a fan of him, but
I love that guy, yeah. Well, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, so when John asked me like what YouTube channels I like him and I like Greg Doucette. Because these guys,
I like Greg Doucette, except when he for some reason, when he's on YouTube, he talks with this high pitched voice that's not his normal voice. And I'm like,
that is
why?
his real voice, because he's on
A
like
lot
funny
of time with diet soda. You're like, bro, just talk normally. I don't know why you're.
I don't know. I think that's
Helium
well,
balloons.
As you guys know, you kind of got to have some kind of, I guess, YouTube personality. I have one. It's just being a complete fucking dick 90% of the time. People kind of like, a YouTube personality. I think that might be Greg Doucette's. And but More Plates, More Dates, the guy's legit. He's just, he's brilliant. And he digs into the literature, the science, and he goes into it with a critical thinking attitude. So him and Greg Doucette, those are the only two other channels I watch, other than, some doctors that have very small channels, like 4,000 subscribers that nobody knows about. But I learned from them. But in terms of big YouTube channels, those are the only two.
you know who I really like, Jay?
Renaissance-
Have you ever heard of the lifting dermatologist? He's based out of Europe. He's like a bald jack dude. He's actually a doctor. I had him on my stream. He gives really good, not so much lifting, but more pharmacology, like steroids and testosterone.
Oh, cool.
He gives really good info. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I haven't. Yeah, there's a lot of and that's what More Plates, More Dates does too, because
Yeah,
he talks a lot about the pharmacology and the steroid use, because there are a ton. You know, my mentor is Drew Bay, and he's probably the smartest individual I've ever met in my life. And when it comes to exercise, just brilliant. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who is more well-versed in exercise than him. And what he says, I mean, you walk into a traditional gym, 80% of the guys in there are on steroids, including the ones that don't look like it. So it's very good that we have someone like More Place, More Dates kind of educating people on this before people start just pumping shit in their body and fucking themselves up and hoping for the best. So I really like him and anybody else who takes kind of a scientific approach to this.
So let me ask you this: what do you think about like pinning a gram of tren a week and just going full send in the gym? You know, with no real.
Well, here's the thing: will that help? Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you look like a fitness model? No.
Yeah.
So when you've got these guys who have these extremely good physiques, number one, it's genetics entirely. Number two, it's drugs. Number three, it's sensitivity to the drugs. So you take like a professional bodybuilder, he doesn't have to take a whole lot of steroids. A lot of them do. And they're so sensitive. And Ben Pakulski talks about this. I actually train at Ben Pakulski's gym here in Tampa. He talks about this too. He's noticed the trend among bodybuilders. The sensitivity to the drugs are huge. I was speaking with Drew Bay yesterday, and he met Chris Bumstead, that physique pro. And when he met him, he was down about 40 pounds of muscle. And then they'll prep for a show. In 12 weeks, they'll put on another 40, 30 fucking pounds and hop into the show. So the problem in the fitness community is we're taking advice from these really bizarre individuals. And it's the worst thing you could ever do because their response and their tolerance and the drug use, you know, your average Joe, it's not applicable to their situation. So what I do is I try to tell people this is what works for the normal people. All right, if you're a professional bodybuilder and you're taking the drugs, you have the genetics, we can look at that too. But most people, 99% of people don't have bodybuilder genetics. So why are they following bodybuilders? That's the problem.
Because like, what else are you gonna do? Like, if you don't know, if you're searching in the dark and you're like,
right? It's
like what I do is like I'll go on C-Bum's shit and I'll see what he's doing and like what his weights are. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking try and get to those weights and those reps. Worst case, like I love my insertions personally, and then I've got pretty good sensitivity. So, worst case scenario, I don't hit what he's at, but I'm gonna look good irregardless.
Well, you might. In most of the cases, that's going to be overtraining for an individual. You know,
Yeah.
I do a workout of about 8 exercises, basically one set, extended set to really deep muscle failure, and I feel like shit for 2-3 days. And these bodybuilders don't.
Catfish.
Well, so I think like for me, this is just me personally. Like, I have like so many different things that I want to do. Like, I want to lift heavy one day, then I want to do hypertrophy the next day. So I'm just like all over the map. But for me, it's more just like all this shit is fun. Like when I go to the gym, I get those endorphins and all that shit. So maybe I'm overtraining, maybe I'm doing that, but that keeps me from strangling strangers. It keeps me from like. And like I get to lift big weights and I'm having fun. So like your physique and your aesthetic is like God tier, and like I'll get there one day hopefully. But for right now, like say I'm overtraining, it's so much goddamn fun. Like I'm in the gym.
That's the balance.
Yeah.
So the issue I have is that we live in an obesity epidemic because most people think you need to train 6-7 days a week to get in shape. So my message is you don't need to do all that to get in shape. For individuals who love to go to the gym and love to just go fuck shit up, you can do that. You're going to have the same results. You're probably not overtraining because if you were, you'd fucking know it.
Well, I think I started taking GH because I was growing muscles faster than my tendons could keep up with, and so I was starting to get like injuries. But I hopped on GH, and that fixed a lot of that problem. So now I'm like overcoming a lot of plateaus.
There's a couple
of GH. Yeah, it's just
there's
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only thing you gotta watch out for is when you get off GH, you're gonna go through like a little crash period which I went through. So you got to use a peptide to naturally rebound your growth hormone receptors. When I got off GH, I lost 10 pounds in like a week or 2 weeks because I just all my water weight. So, but then I got on CJC Propranolone, which is a peptide, and then it all bounced back pretty fast.
CJC 1295, no DAC, and then Ipamorelin together are pretty good.
I want to open it up a little bit to something more broad, since everyone on this panel is into fitness and shit. And I'm sure everyone on this panel at one point was not into fitness. How much do you feel getting jacked has improved your dating results?
So much. It's so much. Like, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Like, there are chicks who are like, over the years, I've been sweating, and then like now I send them like fucking, abs, ripped, shirtless things. There are chicks who hit me up strictly because I'm fucking jacked. It's not. I'm not gonna say it made my game worse. It for sure didn't. Like having an attractive body is gonna improve everything.
It definitely helps on Tinder. Like this is the fucking this is the picture I use on Tinder, and it like crushes. I'm not like super big, but it looks aesthetic.
Yeah, women want aesthetic. Women do not want super jacked.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was on a date last night with a chick, and
some small subset do.
Well, she was talking about
very small.
She was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "I've been following. I thought he was super hot until I heard his lisp," which I was like, "That's kind of fucked up." But like, I was like, "Oh, rest in peace." But
well, I think it's a status thing, because if you have a very good physique, it's very rare. Despite what you see on Instagram that shows you the top 0.01% of profiles, it's very rare to have a muscular, ripped physique. So it's a status thing, and women do appreciate status. So they're proud to be with a man who has a muscular, lean physique because it's rare. That makes perfect sense.
Also, girls.
Yeah. Also, I have a theory that I think also, especially this more applies in third world countries, because being jacked is kind of expensive because you have to eat a lot of protein and shit. So in a country like India, for example, protein is rare. So I think you subconsciously also show the girl that you have money and you can afford like a lot of food, right? Especially like protein, which is the more expensive type of food. The cheapest type of food is carbs, like rice and shit, right? But if you're chicken and beef, more expensive. So in America, maybe not so much, but in like a third world country like India or something like that, I think it also shows that you have some level of money.
Yeah, Diamond D says Josh is a frat boy past his prime. Listen, never a frat boy, definitely past my prime, but never a frat boy.
Yeah, never a frat boy. But
go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. That's maybe in India too, maybe especially in India. I have a couple of clients in my coaching program that are from India, and it's definitely to have a gym membership and to be working on building your physique as good as it can be. You've got to be the upper class in terms of or socioeconomic standards down there. In America, we take it for granted. Listen, I saw a commercial yesterday that said 1 in 6 Americans struggle with hunger, and I'm like, but half of America's fucking fat. So we've got 4 out
you
of
just
6
take food from the fat people,
struggling with hunger.
Yeah.
It's like, we've got it so easy here, and it's really not difficult to just diet and eat appropriately and go to your luxury gym with your filtered water and your new fucking Honda Civic. But, the problem with the fitness industry is they'll pat themselves on the back for doing this shit, when in reality it's a luxury. So, but yeah, I think you might be onto something there with the whole protein and cost of food and shit. That makes sense.
One other thing I wanna get you guys' thoughts on. So this is something I find really ironic. I've debated a lot of black pillars, and black pillars said looks are the only things that matter, right? Looks. It turns out that a grand total of 0% of the people who say looks are the only things that matter are actually in good shape. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, you would think that if looks are the only things that matter, that you would be jacked, right?
Dude, I didn't do like any SMV upgrades until like close to over 1,000 girls. So like it's not that they help a little bit, especially with the online game and stuff like that, but you can still crush without maxing out your SMP. I kind of did it like the hard way. Like I maxed out my game, and then I put on all the SMV stuff more heavy, and then it made things even easier combined with good game.
Yeah.
But why do you think the people who say looks are the only things that matter don't actually do anything about their looks? That's like the point I'm making. Like,
I think they're lazy.
Yeah, that's
They're
fair,
fucking
yeah.
lazy. They're
They
just
want-
lazy
They
fucks.
want to be like, listen, there's no the reason that I can't get laid is beyond my control.
They're too busy being internet trolls.
No, so the first, it's the instant, the exact moment that they're able to say I'm responsible and accountable for my results, then they now have to take action. But if they're like, it's outside of my control, that justifies them not doing it. Do looks matter? Yes, of course. As much as you think, no, they'll get you in the door. They'll help with shit. You have a little bit more leeway. You can fuck up a little bit more, and you've got a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your fucking game. That's all that's going to matter. Like, I was 150 pounds in Vegas. I was banging a stripper who had a bodybuilder boyfriend who was on so much DECA his dick didn't work. I was 23, 24. She would fuck me. And then be like, yeah, my boyfriend is huge, and he never fucked. And like, so, yeah, he looked way better than he would kill me. And she was fucking hot as fuck. I don't know what she was doing fucking me. She's an idiot, but all women are. Just kidding. Not really. And, like he had the looks, he had the physique, he had all the shit that black pillars are saying that's what's important. But at the end of the day, it's going to be like, what is your actual game that's going to fucking set everything down?
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. The people who think looks are the only things that matter don't do anything about their looks. What's an interesting observation I made? I think there's also some overlap between the mindset it takes to be successful in the gym and the mindset it takes to be successful in a game. I have never once met a person who's like really in good shape and really jacked who's saying, "Oh, it's so hard to get girls. I'm struggling with girls." It almost never happens because like
I have a guy that came on my eBook program, 6'5", jacked, virgin.
I've had a few clients like that, but it's just real simple tweaks. But
I think it comes down to
it's rare. Those are exceptions for sure. Like for sure.
I think it comes down to how you feel about yourself. I mean, we can all agree that confidence is huge. And if you're in great shape and you've gone through the I mean, I won't call it suffering, but the discomfort of getting yourself in great shape, well, that builds your character, obviously. And then if you are liking the way you look and you feel good about yourself, you're going to portray that in social interactions. You're going to be more laid back. You're going to be smiling. You're going to be more charming. And obviously women are attracted to that shit. So maybe that's why the people who are in better shape do a little better.
Yeah. But what about like dysmorphia? I've never felt more like terrible about how I look. It's like the more jacked I get, the more I'm like, I'm fucking tiny and fat. I'm skinny and fat. I've gotten smaller. But then you get external validation. Then you actually talk to someone who's not just you staring in the mirror. And they're like, God damn. And you're like, all right, well. Yeah.
Well, okay,
that's just
I think my
body
point got
dysmorphia.
made. Yeah, I think there are definitely jack guys who don't get girls. I'm just saying there's not a lot of jack guys who complain. Like usually if you have the discipline and the willpower to get good at the gym, you're probably gonna have the discipline to get good at game. You might not be good at it yet. I'm just saying I'm talking about the level of victim mindset and complaining, not so much the external results.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen, I've been coaching for over 10 years now, and I've had a bunch of guys that were in good shape that weren't getting laid. And the common thread is that they get a bunch more interest up front, and then they quickly fuck it up over text. They fuck it up in the interaction itself, and the cold approach. They fuck it up on the date. They'll have multi-hour dates leading to nowhere where they run out of stuff to say, and the girl just gets bored and leaves. And I've done reaction videos like on, fucking Jubilee and shit, where they have multiple guys, and the good-looking guys will get a bunch of more interest up front, but then they easily fuck it up. Oh, that guy's weird. He doesn't seem confident, blah, blah, blah. So, it's not the magic ticket by any means. You still have to know how to navigate through the whole game process.
Yeah. Someone said this. I've already debated QB multiple times, so I've already done that. Like, been there, done that. Okay. I guess we can jump into the infield. Or actually, let's really quickly, because people are asking in the comments, Josh, about that. So, okay, if I'm not familiar, that Larry report, I'm going to share the screen. So Josh is actually a PWF mini celebrity because I did a Larry report breakdown. So this video, this was Josh, right? So I thought this was really fascinating stuff because this was like epic level persistence. But anyway, so people are asking like, wasn't he like over validating the girl? Wasn't he being needy? My thought on that is not necessarily. I in that video I make comments. There's some small tweaks that might have done differently, but I think there's nothing like I think being persistent and triple and quadruple texting is not necessarily validating the girl. It's just being persistent, right? Over validating is when you're doing things like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Why can't we hang out? Oh my God, blah 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 blah. Versus just like, hey, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. So I think Josh has a different style than me a little bit, but I don't think that it's necessarily a worse style. It's just a different style. That's kind of my take.
Also, like with chicks like that are like fucking high 9s, 10s, they're getting like bombarded.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to be persistent.
There's like hundreds of unread. Like one of the chicks that I fucked this week, she had, when I picked her up, 333 unread Tinder messages. And it was like the same thing where I like hit her up. I would hit her up like a few times a week. Sometimes I wouldn't get a response. I'd hit her back up. And then I finally got her on the phone. And she's like, yeah, one of the things that I like about you is like when I didn't respond to you, you wouldn't freak out. You wouldn't get upset. You wouldn't be like, she's like, I'm just fucking busy. I got too many messages to respond to. And I was like, yeah, I get how it is. Because like sometimes for me too, like with some online things, it's just like I'll get so many fucking messages and just so much shit. I can't keep up. So like chicks who double text me, those are the ones that I'll end up fucking. Everyone just gets lost in the shuffle. And like hot girls are getting hit up all the fucking time. And your text is low on the queue, and they're never going to text you again because they've constantly got more shit coming in. So you hit them up again. You put your fucking text there. Maybe they see it. Maybe they don't. You wait another week or so or whatever the fuck it is. And really, realistically, like when I double or triple text, it's like I'll be sitting there, I'll be bored at work, and I'll be like, I'll be like, oh shit, what about this chick? I want to fuck this chick, and then I'll hit her up and be like, what are you doing? But also in that, there were like she would send a lot of voice notes. Like you would see there were a few that were saved, but she would respond a lot with voice notes that got deleted. So a lot of the shit where it looks like super uncomfortable, where it's like silence, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so fucking hot, I want to fuck you, would be her responding to me like, I can't wait to deep throat your dick, like on a voice note, and then I would say shit. So then that's gone. That whole like, oh, I like fuck my face is gone, and then it looks like nothing. Hey, oh my God, you're so beautiful or whatever. So that looks super weird and needy for sure. But there was like like a lot of that shit was like voice notes because she had like a seductive voice.
Yeah. No, I can vouch that happens. I've had that happen too, and it's annoyed me when I'm trying to like screenshot because like, oh shit, it's gonna look like I was like really chasing this girl hard because the voice memos don't show up. But yeah, unless the person, if it's iMessage, hits keep voice memo, which a lot of people don't do. Once you listen to it, it goes away after a few minutes.
Also, if I am like chasing and being needy, like if I'm getting my fucking dick sucked at the end of the day, like if I'm coming at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what I look like to random dudes.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think guys are too worried about coming off as needy sometimes. Obviously, you don't want to be needy, but you also don't want to be worried about coming off as needy. But one I've had like actually I've changed my mind on this a little bit in the last year. I think I would go even further with being persistent because I've heard just so many stories. There was this one pretty hot chick who's like a regular on my podcast. And she was saying like she gets hit up a lot, right? Because she has just like a big booty. She always posted. And she was telling me that she wound up hooking up with a guy who DM'd her 50 times in a row, and she responded the 51st time. Now, I think that's like fucking a little bit excessive, but I was thinking about that. I was asking her, like, don't you think that's a little needy, right? Like 50 times? And she's like, no, I loved his persistence. And they're actually dating now. So I found that interesting that like such a crazy level of persistence, which would by conventional pickup standards be just a hard actually wound up.
What I always teach guys is like you don't want to end up in like this fucking stalemate, right? Because the lead is going cold over time. After about a week, it's like relatively pretty cold. Like the sweet spot is in the first 24 to 48 hours. So if the girl stalls you, like I double and triple text all the time. It doesn't need to come from a fucking needy frame. The alternative is just like making a stalemate and letting the lead fucking decay and fall apart.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like for instance, like this chick I've got a date with this.
And the really hot ones, like you said, Alex, it requires a little more persistence.
Like this chick's fucking. I don't know if I can show this, but I can probably.
No. Yeah, no need.
Like this chick I have a date tomorrow. She's like flaked a few times and like doesn't respond occasionally. but then like we have like a date set for tomorrow, and that shit. But it doesn't cost me anything to like hit her up every once in a while, or to double tap. Like it doesn't take any extra time or whatever. Or I'll be like hitting her up. I'll be like, fuck, there goes your fucking. I'll be like, oh shit, what about that chick? Like I want to hook up with that chick. It doesn't. There's no energy or time or money that goes from me like, hey, what's your schedule like this week? Even if I don't get a response, so who gives a fuck? Like the whole thing is like really ego chasing. And at the end of the day, I have I don't have much of an ego. Like I don't think that I'm that cool of a guy, or like no one's ever like, oh, Josh is a cool guy. Like I'm a fucking nerd. I play Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. I just like to fuck a lot. So like I don't care if dudes don't think I'm cool. At the end of the day, if I'm fucking railing out chicks who are like 9s and 10s, like that's all that matters ultimately. So I've dated chicks who are like strippers and escorts and shit. I have like really hot chicks, and I've seen like the message threads with dudes they've hooked up with, and there'll be like just threads of unresponsive. This is why I started doing it. I'll like go through it. It'll be like no response, no response, no response, no response, no response, and then already, like and then just like one time she's like, oh yeah, I was free that night, so I just fucked. And I just fucked. And I was like, oh, there you go. And they were that persistent, and they didn't feel shame about it. They didn't get upset if they didn't get a response. Because who gives a fuck either way? Like if you don't get a response, but it doesn't matter. Like if you've got, like so many girls on the line that I don't even really have time to keep track. So like the ones that are hot that I can remember, I'll hit them up consistently for as long as it takes. So that's just my philosophy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with it. I think it makes no difference. There's not like some like judge who like watches all your text interactions, who's like taking notes on your like, ooh, like this guy's being a little picky, a little too try hard. We're gonna put him lower on the life algorithm or whatever. Like, yeah, there's no like arbitrator. It doesn't matter. It's just between you and the girl. Like, who gives a shit at the end of the day? That's kind of always been my thought as well. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of credence to being super persistent. Like I've just seen so many examples of that working. Like one, your interaction, Josh. Two, just so many where like super persistent. The only reason the person met up with a girl is because he was so fucking persistent, which a lot of people in the pickup community would consider being needy. But like, who gives a shit? If your choice is like looking needy in front of a bunch of dudes on the internet or banging a hot chick, like what's more important? And to me, it's like banging a hot chick. I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Yeah. Does anyone have anything to add before we jump into the infield?
No, go ahead,
John. So, being persistent, what I've noticed is, I mean, obviously the dating thing isn't, it's not my game, but I've never really had trouble with it. But what I noticed was when the girl shows you, and I've had girls do this to me, like laugh at all the DMs they're getting from guys. And normally what they are, they're hearts or hey, beautiful heart, hey, beautiful heart eyes. That kind of shit, I would imagine, gets scrolled by because that's just kind of pathetic in my opinion. But if I were to message a girl on social media, what I say is like, hey, why don't you throw on that tight black dress and we'll go get a drink somewhere nice? That's what I say. Instead of, hey, beautiful, let me take you out, I say, why don't you, throw on that dress in your profile picture and we'll go downtown, we'll get a drink. So I feel like that looks way different than, hey, beautiful, hey, gorgeous, heart eyes, heart, blah, 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 blah. And maybe that's, again, I'm no expert, but I feel like that would get a better response than all the bullshit most guys do from what I see.
Yeah, definitely. The shit that I'm doing is always like, what are you doing? What are you up to? It's always like logistics, screening, and setting shit up.
Yeah.
It's not like just compliments.
Clear intent, clear purpose.
Yeah.
Not it's like trying to get attention.
Yeah.
I think if you combine that with takeaways, you got a very powerful system. Like especially like if you're constantly moving things forward, but if the girl is not complying and then you hit her with a takeaway or two, I think that's a very powerful combination right there.
Yeah, let me add in one more thing. I was gonna say like lots of chicks are fucking distracted and busy. Like when they get a Tinder message or like a text message, and then it gets just pushed down in a queue. So a lot of guys think like she didn't respond, that means she's not interested. That's not the case tons of the times because people's attention is being diverted all these different directions with social media and all this other bullshit. So I tell guys, like, if you get a Tinder match or a Tinder message, to respond instantly because that means she's on the app paying attention and you can get her off the app, get her phone number, right? Or you can set a date if it's over text. Whereas most guys try to play it cool or they're like, I already reached out and she didn't respond. And then all these leads just slip through the cracks because, and in most cases, it's not intentional, depending on who the guy is and what he's saying. But there's tons of times where they don't know. And I've done experiments where I made like a 10 out of 10 Instagram model profile in New York City, and he gets a lot of matches, but the girls ignore his messages all the time. And it goes to show that like they're just busy sometimes when the message comes in. They're not looking at the app, or when they do look at the app, they're inundated by so many other messages, they don't notice it. So if you catch them at a time when they're paying attention by being persistent, then you're going to actually, be able to meet up with the chick.
Yeah, let me actually, before we go into the infield, let me pose this, since everyone here is into working out. What do you guys think about picking up girls at the gym? What do you think is the optimal strategy? Like, you go to the gym, there's a hot girl there. I have my own theories, but I want to hear what everyone else thinks.
I slow burn that shit. Like, if I see a hot chick, there's a regular there, I figure at least it's probably gonna take me 6 months, just because I want to keep it mellow. I don't want to fucking blow anything out. I want to just the gym's like my fucking sacred space. Like, I don't want to fuck that shit up. And there's a lot of pussy out there, so I start off with like hi, hello, over the time. Like, we see each other regularly, then we talk, then eventually grab the number. It's never a rush thing, and I take it slow personally. A lot of times they're there, they feel sweaty, they feel gross, they don't want to be fucking talked to. But there's a lot of chicks who go there and want to get fucked too. So just.
Josh, what if the girl doesn't come back though? Like, that would be my concern with that? Like, what if she just like switches to a different gym, or she's not?
It's life, bro. You can't get every single fucking girl. I would rather have my sacred gym space than like fucking go in hard, and then like go in hard. The chick, it blows out. It's awkward. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. Like, for me, like the gym first, and like that's just my personal thing. But I've never really seen anyone who games hard at the gym who like goes up to chicks hard like you would do at a club or a day game or anything like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been slow burn. Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, that was kind of my same experience. It's like I've dated a couple girls from gyms, and basically what it came down to is, I would just first just say hi or just look at them, and then I would become familiar with them, and then talk to them a little bit more, and then get to know them and eventually go out with them. But I've never just gone up to random girls and tried to like spit game at them. It's just, it's weird because I mean, from my experience talking to most girls, they just, they want to look good. They want attention. They want you to look at them, but they don't necessarily want to talk to you in the process. So, they'll wear the leggings and they'll show cleavage and do all this shit, but they just want the attention because it makes them feel good. They don't necessarily want to talk to you. But I'm the same. I'm just like Josh. Like, I go in there, I just want to fucking train and get out. And I'm not going to be picking up chicks there because I'm probably going to see these same girls downtown anyway later that evening. So fuck the gym. That's what I say.
What about you, John?
So I have a whole video on my channel about this. I don't go hard at the gym. Don't encourage guys to like go hard or make a scene, because if it goes bad, like, they're going to be seeing that person all the time. But I prefer like a semi-indirect approach, just like going up, commenting about like, oh, that's a cool tattoo, blah, blah, blah. I've fucked a lot of girls from the gym. I just make kind of an appearance opener casually, and then I invite them out, say, hey, I throw barbecues or I throw parties, let me invite you. So I treat it slightly like a hired gun. And then over text, it's just when you're free for drinks, when you're free for coffee. I switch it to direct over text. But I don't want to come like full on direct just in case she's not interested. And I don't want to have her just like dismiss me as another guy, just like stroking her ego.
Yeah. I think the two big tips I would give for approaching girls at the gym is, one, wait until she finishes her set. Don't approach a girl mid-set. That's like ultra annoying. That's like I think that's like a game changer right there. Like, if you're approaching a girl
Let her finish
mid-set,
her set before you start your set. That's what they call it.
And the second one I would say is be short and sweet. Like, so I wouldn't I think a girl doesn't want to have to be talked to for like 20 minutes unless you guys are like really vibing, because that like fucks with her workout. So when I approach girls at the gym, I try to keep it quick, like 1 or 2 minutes, and then get the number. I don't like hang around, like, versus if it was like at a bar, it would be longer. So that's kind of like my take. But yeah, I agree. I don't go hard in the gym either. I think that can you don't want to like develop a weird reputation in your regular gym. I probably wouldn't wait like too long, because my whole thing is like, I live in Miami though. It's maybe it's different, but like, it's just constantly people coming in and out. Like, you never see the same people over and over again. But yeah, I don't know. I also always felt, let me know what you guys are thoughts on this. I always felt at the gym there was like an unspoken hierarchy in terms of like perceived value based on how jacked you are or how fit you are. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
And there's always
Yeah.
like, especially among men too. Like when you talk to
Yeah,
them,
the way other men react to you for sure.
or for like the more like if the skinny guy was to go up to a more jacked dude and be like, you know what you should do? You should do a full range of. You'd be like, what are you taught? Go away, like you little skinny bitch. What are you doing? You know, there's for sure a hierarchy. You know,
Yeah, I think it comes down to like the overall aesthetic of the individual. So, you know, I think of the, you know, a typical commercial gym. There's going to be that 45-year-old guy on trend with his veins blowing out, with the tan and the tattoos. Nobody respects him. Everybody looks at him like he's a fucking clown. But then you got like the normal looking guy, the guy in his 20s who, you know, he's not covered in tattoos. He looks like he takes care of himself. He's in good shape. He's going to be higher up on the hierarchy. But, you know, the bodybuilders are really, you know, from what I noticed, if you go to a regular commercial gym, the ultra jacked bodybuilders are, if there is a hierarchy, kind of treated lower. People look at them like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's kind of weird. Because there is like there's a threshold that when you pass this threshold, it becomes weird. So I think that's kind of where it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to get. I want to get to that threshold. I want to be right on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can actually cross that threshold without massive amounts of steroids.
No.
Okay.
It's like, I think people are worried, like, you're not going to get there naturally or even with small amounts of testosterone. You're going
What
to
is
have to
with this fucking guy? Your chat sucks, by the way. Versus John, when I'm on your live stream, your chats are cool. Everyone in here,
it's because he doesn't block people. He lets everyone say whatever. So it's just nonstop trolls every stream on his stream.
They're arguing amongst themselves about like gay shit. Where I'm like, are these guys actually homosexual?
Well, they were arguing for 25 minutes about the hotness of my girlfriend. That was like the big debate. One guy was saying that she's a 4. One guy was saying she's a 7. So that seems to be the big debate there. I don't know how the hotness of my girlfriend is in any way related to picking up girls at the gym, but okay, sure. If you guys want to bicker about the hotness of my girl,
yeah, ban free speech. Hey, we're not banning free speech. We're banning annoying speech. All right? You're gonna fucking be a.
My rule is I only kick out the
stream your annoying shit elsewhere. I don't give a.
Yeah, but then all your streams are dominated by trolls. Dude. It detracts from the experience.
Over and over.
Mm-hmm.
They spam the same shit. You're like, hey, knock it off. Like, oh, free speech. It's like, listen here, fucking guy.
Yeah. I just kind of, I'll give them a couple chances, but if they start to get annoying, I just block them and just kind of, I don't acknowledge them and I just block them and post the productive questions.
So we're different in that sense. I like engaging with the trolls. I like challenging the trolls. I get off on that shit. But okay, let's jump.
I respect that a lot.
Well, sometimes.
A paragraph.
Sometimes I'll go after them. That's fun too.
Yeah. Let's talk about my favorite thing. Go ahead. I was saying one of my favorite things is getting the trolls on the stream. The problem is most of them are pussies and they never want to come on. But I've gotten a few on the stream, and it's typically like, well, dude, I don't know about this one thing you said 3 years ago, and I explained it like, oh, okay. By the way, I'm a big fan of you. I'm like, okay, so you just spent like half an hour saying I'm the biggest faggot ever, but you're actually fine. But yeah, so that's usually kind of what happens. But yeah, let's get into the game breakdown. Do you have the infield, John?
Yep.
Guys, I gotta hop off. I'm tailgating at a football game right now. Unfortunately, I'm not, trolling people because I have shit to do. So I'll thanks for having me on the live stream. I'm gonna go live my life now. The trolls would do the fucking same.
It was awesome. Awesome meeting you.
Yeah, dude, it was nice to meet you for the first time.
Good meeting you, Josh. Good to see you, Alex. John, talk to you every day. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for having me on.
Sounds good, brother.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Take care, man. Do you want to look at the same one we were looking at on my stream? Because I have to like.
Can we do a new one? Let's do a new one.
But I don't know like which ones were.
I think a new one will probably be more interesting because there's probably some people from your stream who are watching this stream and then they're gonna like tune out if they're bored.
Okay. But yeah, just go over a couple questions. I'll just find something here. I'm gonna look through. Or we're
Well,
both
we
in
got
New
a
York.
very interesting message from God. I didn't know God was a fan of my channel.
I have some
Alex,
questions
you
for
can start indulging in sucking my own nuts. Thoughts? Question mark.
now. Wait,
Cool,
wait.
cool shades.
I have
God
questions
has cool
about that.
shades.
Now, when you're sucking your own nuts, are you kicking? Are you like you're laying on your back? You kick your legs over, and your nuts are so long that they're able to drip down your mouth, or are you so flexible that you go down and you're able to get your nuts under your dick, or do you go down and pull them up?
Oh, dude,
I'd like you to elaborate.
I know
Okay.
which one we
Can
can
you-
do.
Okay.
Oh,
you got
yeah,
it.
this one. I fucked a lot of girls at work. Actually, one of my jobs, I convinced them to hire secretaries who were hot. I was like, listen, this is the spearhead of the company. It's the first thing that people see. We need to get attractive girls in here. And then I would fuck them. And then I'd be like, this one's not working out. We got to let her go. And then get them to rotate through it. And that was one of my proudest moments. But with that, it's always like subtle sexual jokes and little flirting and like seeing how they respond. You have to be able to calibrate really well, and you have to make sure you do not overstep a boundary. And you don't take crazy risks, even though I've taken some wild risks and like hit coworkers up at 1 a.m. to show up for a threesome. The first time I ever hooked up, which was gnarly, but full send.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend if you're a beginner, you don't have the social calibration because you can misread the situation and get yourself fired. But yeah, if you're like more advanced guy, then I think it's fine. But it also depends on like how much you like, what's your risk tolerance? Like, with any time you're hitting on a coworker, there's a little bit of risk, right? If you don't really give a shit about that job, you don't plan on being there for long, then I guess it doesn't really matter. If this is like the company you want to work for 20 years, then you might be more risk averse. But that's kind of my thought.
All right.
Yeah, well,
I
if
got
you don't even care if you live or die, then who gives a shit, right? Then you're like, fuck it, fire me. I'll fuck this bitch. I don't give a shit.
a video ready.
All right, let's do it.
Josh, you remember when there's probably like fucking 10 objections or whatever when we're both joint pulling? You can hear it pretty well because it's out on the street.
Perfect.
It's pretty funny. There's like the girls were on board. There was like a male friend that was trying to block, but he was a pussy. So it's pretty funny how we overcame this. All right, so let me do a share screen. I wanted to let guys know, I was going to announce this like way sooner in the beginning. We're running a 3-day event, September 9th, 10th, and 11th. It starts on Friday. It's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week. We'll have the link in the description. Did I send you the link for that?
Don't know, but send it to me and I'll post it.
Okay. Let me just grab that real quick. But that you can go see the details in this link. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well. And it's going to be all of Cold Approach being taught. So night game and day game. It is free this time. We had 700 people last time when we charged. It's like a virtual boot camp basically. And now it's nothing held back. My entire night game and day game Cold Approach system for free. $97 VIP upgrade gets you access in the Telegram chats with me and my world-class coaches, giving you feedback while you're out and about doing approaching, plus additional Q&As, a bonus day, all this extra stuff. But check out this link. Let's see. I'm just going to drop this to Alex in the chat, and then we'll start the infield breakdown here.
Okay, cool.
Grab a water real quick.
All right.
Okay, let me see. I'll post it.
One second, grabbing the link. Should I show like we have like a 3-minute video showing all the polls we were getting during our filming project?
Yeah, you can show that as long as there's nothing like that breaks YouTube terms of service. Yeah.
No, it's just like an overview of the folders of the nights out, but it shows like how often we were pulling. So I'll show that as well. All right, here's the link.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop this to you in the private chat. Okay.
Did you send it to me yet?
I had to shorten it. It was like this super long link. All right.
Okay.
There's the link there for the description, and I'll drop
Okay.
in the chat.
Okay.
Make sure you guys check this out.
It's going to be in
You
the
can go click
description in
Yeah.
like 5
Yeah, throw in the
seconds.
description.
Okay.
Good. I just put in the chat as well, and now Alex has it in the description. But go join. You can claim your free ticket and join for what's it called, the VIP for $97. Okay. All right. So let's jump through here. All right. You ready?
Yes. Hang on one second.
Okay,
I'm just
sure,
posting.
Okay.
Okay. Done. Okay. Cool. We're good.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna
So
post it in the chat too.
the first thing I'm going to show you guys, 'cause a lot of you guys aren't familiar with Josh. He is in the top 5 best guys to know in the game. You're probably like, let's see, you're probably like number 2 or number 3, right? Who do we know that's better than you? I don't think anybody.
I don't personally.
Josh says I'm the only person he's met that's better than him at game, but we used to pull like crazy. So what we're going to show you here is during our Infield project, these are full nights out, these folders, but it's going to say who pulled on what nights. So I'm going to play that first, then we'll go into the Infield breakdown. So let me share my screen.
I like this guy. Pulling is stupid. Almost guaranteed sexual assault charges. The chick is under influence these days. So okay, you guys heard it. No more pulling. No more pulling. Chicks.
Wait, can we pull up Diamond D? Can we pull up Diamond D's one? That one was making me laugh.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what
You're the
what's
feminist.
Strong spelling.
what's the difference between an alpha and omega?
I think Omega is like as beta as you can be.
What's the difference between a feminist and a feminist?
I would think so, right? Like Alpha is the first Greek letter. Omega.
I thought Omega was above alpha because in the movie
No.
with Tom Cruise, Omega was at the top.
All right. All right, I'm gonna play this.
The day after tomorrow.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys
the
ready?
day after tomorrow. Yeah. Edge of tomorrow.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Just watch this real quick.
Okay.
This is a walkthrough of some of the footage that I found. So 2 John pulls. This is like the order of the nights. I pulled twice. I pulled once. I pulled once. Josh pulled twice. Josh pulled once. I pulled once. We made out with a 2 set. Both pulled. Boot camp shit. Talks to students. Pulling with the students. Pulling again. 1 John and Josh. Joint pull. 3 makeouts, 3 near pulls. 1 Josh pull. John pull. Rare miss.
Yeah, like that was like almost a full month without any missing.
Near pull. Group pull. And then I got a solo pull. Multiple isolations. 2 pulls. Makeout. John makeout. Josh pull.
And these are full nights out of footage, usually like 4 or 5 hours, but that's just like the major thing that happened in the description.
1 pull. John pull. John pull. Josh pull. Josh make out married chick. John pull not captured. Frustrating.
Well, let's jump to the infield.
Yeah, I just want to see guys. I just want to show guys like even back during our fucking
Are fucking hilarious. Just by the way, the comments in the chat, like this guy's like Josh looks like an old fat kid, and then so many of these are hilarious. He's like,
just don't even read them. They're just a bunch of fucking
kind of
losers.
funny, right? Okay, I won't read
All
it.
right.
But they're hilarious.
All right, let's start the infield. So this is the context here is we are in a bar scenario.
John, your screen is not shared.
No, I know. I'm just like setting the stage here.
Okay.
But basically, we're in like a night game scenario, and the girl gets pulled outside, and then we do all the objection handling on the street. So let me show you guys the actual pull part, and then we'll show the objection handling on the street. So let me share my screen again. All right, here we go. And update on the fucking Ryan drama, the real Coach Ryan drama. Okay, he received a lawsuit yesterday, so I'll keep everyone posted on that. There's 10 different counts he's on the hook for, including endless amounts of defamation and a whole bunch of other terrible stuff. So I'll make that all public shortly. All right, so let's go. Oops, hold on. Actually, let me fucking share a tab. Okay. We are ready. Can you guys see it okay?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm moving. Okay, so now I can see both. All right. So this is me, obviously, here. These are the girls we're trying to pull. I mainly want to see guys see the objection handling part when I get them outside. Me and Josh tag teaming objections. Okay. So watch this part here. We get them outside.
Marianne!
They're on pull. This is the birth. All right, so he's wearing this shirt that says "Easy."
Hold up, bro. There's a massive amount of feedback. Do you have I think that has to do with your the audio is bouncing back through your mic, and it's like making the audio really bad. Yeah, you're gonna need headphones.
Okay. What was I gonna say? So he's wearing this Easy Money shirt. I'm introducing him at this point. I pulled the girls out of the venue, and now we are going to be answering tons of dumb objections here.
Hi, happy birthday, honey.
I'll tell you how you live on Dawes.
Trooper.
Oh, Dawes are good. What are you guys up to right now? They want to come to Dawes and drink liquor. Let's go drink.
All right, so these are the two girls we're trying to pull. There's like a Orbiter, nice guy friend over here on the left named Drew. And watch how we handle, there's like a shitload of objections. Usually you're only going to get like between 1 and 3, but I think in this case there was like 10.
What do y'all want to do?
You guys want to back to my house? Really sorry, guys. Really have no place to sleep. Are you down? What's the deal? I thought we all...
And so, okay, so the Orbiter guy, Orbiter is like a friend zone guy. He's like, hey, I thought we were all going back to my house. And then I said to the girl, like, hey, we agreed we're going to all go over here and hang out.
I'm down to go drink, but with my friends.
You live like a block away. Right over there. Yeah, I got work in the morning now, and you guys
All right, first objection. He's got to work in the morning.
stay at my house, right?
Yeah, and I gotta work. Let's go.
Let's try.
Sorry.
This guy's
Let's go across the street. Let's go across the street.
He doesn't want to do.
This girl is so annoying.
So annoying. Oh my god.
The joys of dealing with fucking drunk girls.
Go across.
Wait, hold on. He doesn't want us to come with you.
What?
He doesn't want us to come with you.
Wait, who?
This guy right here doesn't want us to come with you.
Wait, where are you guys going? I thought you guys had a place
2 blocks
to go.
away, we do, but he's saying we can, she's saying he wants to go with him, and he's saying we can come with you.
No, that's my boy. That's my boy. He takes care of me.
What he's saying is we're saying don't want to be a douche. No, it's all good. What's up? What's your name?
No, what kind of party are you guys even going to?
All right, so he's befriending this guy's sweater or whatever. You're befriending this dude, introducing yourself.
His birthday, so.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Don't want to ring. We got it. Thank you. No, but I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying we should all go drink. That's our plan. I don't know what the problem is.
No, we're down, but like, what kind of party are you guys having?
We're just drinking. Well, it's like an after party. It's like all my friends in the complex. He was on Dawes. This plus my Dawes. Yeah. A cake. We're gonna drink. We were talking about drinking Jameson all night and fucking Fireball and shit.
I have to work in the morning.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It's like a block away. So if you were going to leave from here... You can always come drink a few shots and go back with your friend. Yeah.
Well,
and he has no place. No, he can come with us.
Okay.
Well, he can...
All right, so this is kind of a critical point. They're like, we can't leave him. And we're like, okay, bring him. Right? Because there's no other way around it. He's like fucking clinging to them and he has to be part of the whole thing.
I think he has a man purse. He's wearing a...
He does.
A man purse. And
He
he's
does.
like, I thought we were going to my house. I have work in the morning. It's like, what the fuck are you even doing out, you fucking fag?
Watch You got to be soft Fs.
You can come. It's not a problem.
He's like, I'm just gonna go, right? And the girls can't leave without him. So the goal here is to win over this fucking douchebag.
No, it's not no, dude. We have. If you need to have work in the morning, you can come
Do
over
you
and take
have
a few
girls
shots.
at your house?
Yes, I have my girlfriend at the house.
No, that's
Well, there's-
irrelevant, my
There's
friend.
the two girls that live downstairs. There's the other girl who's with her boyfriend. Right there. Too. So there's
Your favorite man.
he's favorite man. So it's like guys and girls. We have that.
We're not gonna have for that long. You can always meet up with him after.
Let's say between half
No,
and 3/4 of the
no. I love you guys. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank
Happy birthday.
It's a party for the guys.
So like, it looks like it's over, right? A lot of guys would give up at this point. She's like, no, like we're gonna go. Like we love you guys. Blah blah blah. But watch what we do here.
With your girlfriend. It was really nice meeting you. We're gonna go home, honey. We're gonna go home.
Come on.
You're the best, honey. You're the best.
Babe. Miss Marianne.
All right, now here's an example. She's like all fucking distracted by a whole bunch of things. She's being like super ADD. And so you have to like get their attention, right? Like RST Tyler would always call it the reticular activation system. But you basically need them to be paying attention so that you can answer objections so that they're actually listening.
Miss Marianne. Miss Marianne. Miss Marianne.
You know what? I could be, huh?
Miss Marianne. We're literally like a block away. Why don't we just all of us go? The whole group? You don't have to ditch him.
No,
all just
but
go do
there's
Jameson's
no one
house.
there for them to hang out with.
There
That's
is.
the
We
thing.
invited like fucking 20 people. There's guys and girls.
But no one's there.
How do you know you're not there?
You don't know. No, you tell them. Like, those are my friends, and
I'm trying to say they can come drink.
Do you have anything to add here?
Oh my god, I fucking remember. Like, I'm getting a PTSD. Like, I hate.
This was one of our like most annoying like
Oh
sets.
my god, I remember her. I just like
There was, like,
I
so
didn't
many-
have objection, but like the grading, just condescending, just like, okay, sweetie. I'm just like, fuck. But
All right, but
um,
watch how we win this over. This actually pulls. Watch.
Listen.
unless you have hot chicks at your pad, my buddy Drew isn't coming.
at your pad. It's like a fucking Minnesota Valley. It's like a mixture of like Minnesota. It's just all the worst fucking accents.
She said, unless you have hot girls at your pad, my buddy
Yeah,
Drew's
so
not
this
coming.
is like
He's over
like
there with the man
fucking
purse.
Mama Rooster fucking hen overseeing all the thing, and that this is a closeted gay man who thinks that he's trying to bang these girls.
You should have been like, well, we have some hot dudes at our place. I think he'd be more interested in that.
It's a hot dude party.
There's
hosted
like
by
there's some
MLD.
dudes with some sweet sweaters you can swap. So yeah, this I mean,
Josh, there's a guy in the space that's called Modern Life Dating that has hot dude parties and hot dude cons. We actually served him legal papers at his hot dude con in Miami. Fucking golden.
he's just hot dudes over to party.
That's what he calls it. Pretty
But
cool.
unfortunately,
Pickup's
it's,
kind of weird. Pickup used to be about getting
all,
laid.
it's, all, it's all ugly dudes. So, but yeah, let's keep going.
I have good friends that moved over there. They're industry girls.
Do you promise?
Yeah, do you have an extra cigarette?
No, don't be a bitch.
Oh my god! What? Oh.
No, it's telling her I DJ out here. There's industry girls that are coming over.
Industry,
She said
what
unless we have hot.
industry?
She said unless we have hot friends
It's
for
not
Drew.
about that. It's
Downtown, like
if
cocktail
if
servers
I
and
have
stuff?
some
Like
that have
from
a lot, and then I can't leave.
Sidebar.
Oh, this is my girl.
Sidebar.
Hey, how you been? We got good. Why?
This makes all the fucking empty jar.
Here, say this fuck. I don't know what this is. I know this is sidebar and basement fuck.
Oh, I know about you. Carry on.
It's really not a big.
All right, now this is like conferencing. We were just talking about this in the stream we had on my channel. You don't really want to let them conference because they're going to raise the same objections, but they're going to make it harder to comply instead of easier to comply.
Yeah, each one of
Right.
them is going to raise the complaint. They're going to like one's going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to go because whatever," and the other one's like, "Okay," and also this, and there's no one there to answer objections. So you don't want.
How do you prevent that from happening? Like, what's the
when
call
you
on
see
You
that?
just
that-
engage. You
that
just
thing,
engage
yeah.
them in conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you're pulling, like say me and Josh are pulling like two girls, right? And they start whispering together. It's like a ticking time bomb. So what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, no secrets. And I'll like signal my wing, like conferencing. And I'll just start talking with my girl. He'll start talking with his girl. But this can even happen like in the cab. Like if the girls are sitting next to each other, it's always better to sit in between them, because otherwise they're going to be like whispering like, blah, blah, oh, how do we know this guy's safe? And like, blah, blah, you know, it's really just, you're trying to like make it easy for them to come with you. And then they're going to try to make it harder. Their friends are going to try to make it harder. Right. And this guy knows like why we want to go take his 2 chicks, right? But his 2 friends.
Yeah, I had a situation in Poland on that topic. This is a pretty funny story. I definitely learned a lesson. Me and my buddy Antonio, we were pulling these 2 chicks.
I remember Antonio, the Italian dude.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck. But yeah, we were pulling 2 chicks, and his was like way more into him, but she was also less attractive. Mine was hotter, and she was like a little bit lukewarm, but she was kind of into it. So pulling them back to our place, and then we get an Uber, right? And then I make the mistake of sitting in the back and let the girls sit in the front. Well, what happened was we had the fucking best looking Giga Chad Uber driver. This guy was like just fucking this jacked, fucking really good looking Polish dude who and obviously the chick that I was talking to barely speaks English. So they just start conversating in fucking Polish. And I'm like, uh-oh, I see what the fuck is going on there, but I can't really do much because I don't fucking speak Polish. And this girl barely speaks English. So this fucking Uber driver wound up fucking stealing that chick from me. I learned that lesson real fast. This was like 2017.
Dude, Antonio, as a side note, that dude Antonio had probably one of the best Tinder profiles I've ever seen in my whole life. He was he was also a DJ. What was fascinating is like 3 of the pictures were fake, where it showed like a guy like DJing with all these flames and all this shit, and 2 other like amazing DJ shots that weren't him. And then he had like a killer headshot, and he showed me, and he was like matching like endless stunners. It was fucking insane.
Dude, Antonio is like ruthless. Yeah, the funniest thing he ever told me was what he would do is he had a full on like catfish profile, and this is so funny. He would invite girls to meet him at a bar, right? And then he would give the buddy the phone, his phone, and then he would show up at the bar and see the girl as himself, and then he would have his friend text her at that moment saying, "Hey, sorry, I have to flake, haha." Right? So the girl would get this phone, and then he would wait for her reaction. 30 seconds later, he would approach her as himself. It's the funniest shit. I mean, it's a little fucked up, but it's really fucking funny. He told me he banged a bunch of girls that way.
Yeah, he was like doing a lot of like fucking sneaky shit. Like with making a whole profile that wasn't. All right, yeah, let's keep going.
Big deal.
I understand.
Look, everyone's making it such a big deal.
It tends to be that way when you leave bars. People.
He's like, it tends to be that way when you leave bar. This guy was so fucking annoying.
It's like another step in the process.
I don't know why it's such a big deal.
Oh, no. You're with me.
She wants to make sure there's industry girls. I saw 2 from the sidebar and basement coming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leave you alone.
I tried telling her that my girlfriend and all of my girlfriend's friends.
We're not hanging out.
Marianne, you make a decision. I'll go with you.
We're not hanging very long.
All right, so they're like, Marianne, make a decision, and we'll go along with it.
Come for like a half an hour and then go home. Half an hour and then go home. Because we have to be up anyways early, so we're not gonna party late. Just come for half an hour, just walk away, and then you go home.
I cannot be up any later than 7, or I'll be late again and probably get fired.
You can't have that. No.
But if I get fired, I get unemployment, and then I don't
Are you
have
gonna
to
tell me?
Half an hour and then go.
Drew, I know you said you didn't want to be up.
Half an hour.
All right. No, you make the call. I'm with you.
A few minutes, Drew.
All right.
Okay, so like we started saying come for a half hour, and then Josh says just come for a few minutes. It was like more than a few minutes to walk there. And then I think you start saying come for 30 seconds, Drew. You're basically like lowering it down like further and further.
Dude, no. Don't even fucking call his name like you know him.
Oh my god, I will fucking slap this bitch across the face. Sucks. She sucks.
No, but
I hope she's miserable right now. All right. I hope she's still this annoying, and I hope she's alone, and I hope her cat doesn't even come to her when she tries to.
Don't even say his name like you know him. All right.
We already talked.
I know. Cool. Stop.
It's up to you. Whatever you want.
Boy.
Half an hour and then you gotta go.
It was like my name's Drew. I'm like, Drew. She's like, don't say his
30 minutes,
name.
man.
I'm like, what do I
Yep.
say?
It's
his birthday. Don't be mean.
Then we'll get to know you a little more, and then
Can I call you by
everything's
your
all good.
name?
Yeah, I don't need to get to know you a little more. Like,
All
Let's go.
All right, so, hey, cool.
right, let's go.
Can I share that with you?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna be a bitch.
Jill. He is coming. He's a good man.
You're high out of your mind.
He's a good.
What butt are you smoking?
Is that
Is that Robin?
Yeah, that for sure is.
That's one of our wings.
Doing the chant and figuring that shit out.
Dude, the first night ever filming Infield, during our project, I pulled back to that. This is our friend Robin. I pulled back to Robin's house, and I like isolated into the bathroom at Robin's house, and the chick was like blowing me. I like took my shirt off, and there was like the wire of the mic, and I was like, threw it into a drawer. We only got caught with our equipment like twice. One time, a girl felt it on Josh, and she's like, "Are you wearing a wire?" But
My friend.
All right, let's go. Josh! Conference thing is ruining it. Thank you.
All right, so I would get like fucking stressed at these points of the interaction because they're like conferencing again, right? It's like just about to tip, and then that's like a critical threshold where if they start whispering, it's gonna fuck up.
Current drip, Miche.
All right, let's go. Grab my hand.
No, I want to grab your hand. I don't need to be led like a child.
I know.
I can walk my own way.
All right, let's go. Let's go. You can't let your girl in the guy conference. That's your job.
That's your job, Josh. Don't let the girl in the guy conference.
You can't let them conference. They're going to conference. I'm telling you.
And you know what'll happen the next day. I'll fucking talk about it for 8 hours.
Oh, stop.
This is what happened. I would like write shit on whiteboards and like paste.
I'll have notes about it. You're like, no conferencing. I'm like, oh my god.
Tell the guys in the stream like what would we do the night after we would go out? Like
John and I
the
lived
next
together for like a year, and we filmed Infield for like a year. So we go out 5 nights a week, and how could you hear that chick's voice and not want to slap her? I don't know.
No, but tell them about like the morning after usually.
Yeah, so the morning after we would go, we would review the footage, we would review what happened, and then we would take notes on like what worked and what went wrong. And then we would have like running notes, like Word documents of shit, just like stream of consciousness. And then we would take and we would refine it. And then over a few months of doing this, it became really fucking apparent. It's like, oh, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to go in, you talk to the girl, physicality, isolate, seed the pull, screen for logistics, maybe down that order, and then go for the pull and answer objections. And that's all it is. And that's what it became. And it just became rote repetition and the same thing. And like all the other stuff was just like background noise and fluff. Maybe you would make jokes to make yourself laugh, but that's all it was.
I would get stuck on like any technical error we would make. So like that's how I like was able to iterate so much. Is that even if we pulled, even if we got laid multiple times, I was always like scanning every interaction for where we could find holes, and I would just like talk about it for several hours a day, pacing around the house,
pacing back and forth, repeating yourself.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but for me, like in the last few years, my biggest turn on has become compliance, and my biggest turn off is non-compliance. So like every time a girl gives me any kind of non-compliance or gives me a hard time, that just like turns me off. So like for me, the easier the better. Like I like the situations where I have to do barely anything on Tinder. The girl comes over, she's super DTF, and there's like no, I don't know. That's just like kind of where my
because like Alex, begging this fucking whiny nagging chick. Even if you're fucking her, she's gonna be like, no, not like that, and you're gonna be like, this isn't even fun. Like this, you suck.
Yeah, dude. I have another Infield on my channel, the Peruvian chick, who you met. This girl Kate, who I was dating when me and Josh were living together, and she gave like so much endless amounts of shit, and that was also very rare. These are like our two big examples of like all this nonsense, and the reward was I got to deal with that with her on rotation. She was hot, but that's the girl that led to me getting a vasectomy because I got her pregnant. And then I don't have any kids, but it was like a month of arguing about it, and she finally got an abortion. But the like reward for like, you know, that's like a huge red flag, and that kind of shit normally continues. So like to your point, Alex, when there's non-compliance or like repeated flaking, all that kind of shit, you're like signing up for that. Even if you're like persistent and get them to close, you now have to like deal with that all the time, and it's a huge fucking pain in the ass. So do you want to? We could show the part where we pull these Bulgarian girls on a different stream, and this is just like bantering, walking back now.
Yeah,
What happened after this? Like, how did this whole thing end?
Well, Josh is like in an open relationship, so
No, well, it wasn't open. I just cheated all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so his girlfriend wasn't there, so this dude just fucking chilled out and fucking didn't do shit, and we isolated the girls. I mean, this guy basically was like a passive observer.
He had to have been gay, right? Like,
so this guy was like just chilling in the living room while you guys were like banging the chicks, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like he was just like ultra passive. Like he became like more friendly to us once we got back. But like at first, I think he was just like trying to put up
didn't he end
tokens.
up having to leave at some point because he had work in the morning or some shit?
Yeah. No, he rolled off. Like he was just kind of like hanging out, and then he like was just like make sure they're safe. But we like befriended him more. We were just kind of like, you know, being nice to him. But like, that's the thing is like a lot of these people, like I remember I always tell guys on my channel like when I was in China, like I pulled these 3 girls from a club, and 2 of them were sisters, and the other one was the best friend. And I was making out with one of the sisters. We get back to the hotel room in China, and there's like nowhere to close except the fucking bathroom of the hotel. So I just isolated in the bathroom of the hotel, and the other 2 girls just sat in the bed, and the girl was like screaming in the bathroom and shit. And her sister and best friend are just like sitting there, like, you know, like what else are you gonna do, really? So if you pull a group, it helps if your place is bigger or if you have multiple floors. I got a place in Philly that was five floors, and I could pull back groups of like 10 and isolate, you know, like 4 floors up, and nobody would fucking bother us. But if it's all like in a closed space, this house we pulled to here was a different house than where we were living. But when we were living together, me and Josh, it was like our bedrooms were on opposite sides, and there was like a space in the middle. And we would have scenarios where like we'd pull a 2-set, both girls would love us, we'd isolate to our bedrooms, and then they'd both want to go check on each other, and they would like cock block each other sometimes, just because it was in close proximity, and they could like hear, you know, especially if one of us started fucking first and they could hear like ass spanking or something, they'd go and cock block. And that was like the most annoying shit. Right. But just sometimes, but it just, since it's like close proximity. So I always tell guys, like, if you pull back a group, tell the girl you want to like give her a tour of the house and lead her to the bedroom, or say like, I want to have a serious conversation with you, lead her to the bedroom. And if you have to like sit in a group, still try to take them to the balcony, or like you want to isolate as quick as possible so that you get back, put on music, offer people drinks, and then you want to like isolate them away from the group. You don't want to be in like this group talk scenario for like 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. People are just gonna get tired and bored and leave, right? Like name of the game is isolation at that point, and just trying to make things happen.
So how fast would you isolate after getting them back to the house? Like, are we talking 2 minutes?
Like instantly.
Yeah,
like
instantly.
As
soon as possible.
Like literally, like I've had like plenty of times where like people are still getting out of the cab and coming in, and they walk in the house and I'm in the bedroom. That's how it should go, because people seeing you go into the bedroom is like problematic as well, because then they can, you know, the girls are gonna be like, oh, let me go make sure she's okay, and like knock on the door. And then the girl in the bedroom like doesn't want to, you know, there's the whole like slut defense thing. So they don't want to look slutty to the friend. They don't want to look slutty to you. And, you know, so like in one of the places we had in Florianopolis and in the place here, there's like actually not this place here, the 2 different places I had in Florianopolis, there was a door to my bedroom from the balcony. So we would have parties, and me and my chick would just isolate a girl out into the balcony, make out with her, and then we'd go into my bedroom. And then we'd after we finished hooking up, we'd come back from the balcony, and people just thought we were on the balcony the whole time. So, and that was like less shameful to them than to think like for them to see like going into the bedroom, because then it's like, you know, that's gonna like activate cock blocking sometimes and make the girl feel slutty, like, oh, you know, because then her friends know like what she's doing. Ultimately, you don't want to be pulling groups, right? Like it just lowers the closing odds, and especially big groups, because it's gonna. I can show one more quick clip where we're pulling a 2-set from a bar.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me pull that up real quick here. Let's see. Okay. And by the way, guys, I'm teaching my full cold approach strategy for free. We have the link in the description now. It's September 9th, 10th, 11th, next Friday through Saturday. And you guys can join that event for free. And there's a 97 VIP option that gets you a whole bunch of shit, including access to the coaches while you're out. But check that out in the description. Okay, so this is the 2 of us, and we pull a 2-set. It's these Bulgarian girls. I've got it up here. Oop. Okay. So I opened. I'll just skip to the part where Josh comes in, but I opened and got my girl on board. So let me just share the screen here. I got my chick on board to pull back home, and then I met her friend, got her on board, and then I introduced Josh. So let me show. I'm just going to share now. Oops. And ask questions too about the infield stuff, guys. I mean, you could see the beginning of that last interaction, but
what city were you guys living in when you were doing this?
San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. Would you generally recommend San Diego or no?
Yeah, it was my favorite U.S. city.
Really? San Diego was your favorite one?
Yeah. Because the problem with Vegas and Miami, because I lived in Vegas and Miami, and they both seem too transitory. Like a lot of the girls would fucking fly home. So a lot of your leads are like worthless because the girl flies home. And even more frustrating, if you do close, you can't put them on rotation a lot of times if they fly home. Right. So that those two things, and it just feels like those cities are resetting like every week. Whereas San Diego, it's Southern California, the girls are really hot. Plus everyone fucking lives there. People are like relatively chill. What would you say, Josh?
One thing though, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say one thing. Like I've never lived in San Diego. I've been there a few times, but one potential concern I would have about San Diego is they have a huge military presence. So basically, there's a humongous influx of super jacked young dudes.
They're not jacked. They're military. They're all tiny.
There was fights. I saw a fight almost every night or multiple.
Yeah, but they fight amongst themselves and they're pussies and they don't hit on girls. They're like they don't even exist.
Like I remember when I was in San Diego, I just went to like a local bar and I remember it was like 80% dudes like ratio there, which like LA wasn't really like that. I don't know, but maybe you guys went to better spots than me.
There was some really good spots. I mean, maybe I don't know. You might have just went to like a bad spot, but like we fucked tons of hot chicks there.
Also, you were living with the best wing you ever had too in San Diego, so of course fucking crushed it.
You too.
Yeah.
No, we did good. All right, can you pop that screen share up?
Yeah.
Pop that
okay, so this is in a bar in Gaslamp downtown. There's me, there's Josh. Josh was talking to these other girls. This was the one I won over originally. And then I introduced Josh here in a second. So should I just go to the part where I introduced Josh?
Yeah. Can we just see the opener real quick? Is that in there?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of guys struggle.
Yep. Yeah, the opener's there. Go.
He was wondering where you got all those fucking moves from.
All right, so she was like dancing, and I said, he was wondering where you got all those fucking moves from about Josh.
Right there was celebrating.
Oh, I thought you said Bruce.
He was like, look at those fucking moves. I was like, I know. Are you Hispanic?
Sorry?
Are you Hispanic?
I didn't hear you.
Where's your
And I'm like, are you Hispanic? And she says she's Bulgarian.
background? Are you Hispanic?
No.
Where are you from?
Bulgaria.
Oh, cool. I used to live in London. I had Bulgarian friends.
Oh, really?
I went to graduate school in London. I'm from New York originally, but then I went to graduate school in London, and now
What are you doing here?
DJ.
DJ? Oh, that's nice.
All right, so I say DJ, blah blah blah. Everyone thinks that's like the key part of game is just say you're a DJ. All right, so now here's Josh coming in. But basically, up until this point, I got my girl's number, framed a date for later, but I also had her on board to come back that night. But we were talking about in our last stream on my channel, basically like setting up a contingency plan. So you screen her logistics, you see the polls come back to the house, but then you also get the number and seed a date just in case you don't get to pull that particular night. And you do that over and over and over and over. You should be going for about 10 to 20 phone numbers per night. And ideally, you want to pull at least once, if not twice. Okay, so let's see. This is the part where I introduce Josh.
Wait, what were you going to say?
Sorry?
What were you going to say?
All right, see how he's immediately physical, immediately puts his arms around her.
You're going to say something I said.
I forgot. Yeah. No, about here. And people can drive like 60. Yeah, and that's really understandable.
See all the physicality? Like a lot of guys are afraid to be physical. They think the girl will be upset or the girl's going to be turned off, right? But this is what they want.
Right off the bat, because the way that you do it is the way that I do it. I recommend that it be done is you go in hard. But if you get a bad reaction, you calibrate after the fact. So you don't try and calibrate before and figure out what it is that going to want or respond to. So you go in hard. If they pull away with your physicality, you also pull back and you're like, sorry. And that social acuity, that acumen is going to be
Calibration.
Yeah, like being able to calibrate and say like that whole dynamic of I understand what's happening here. I understand that you're not comfortable with that physicality, so I'm going to pull back and I'm sorry and I apologize. That sort of thing is also attractive. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, even if you go in too hard, if you're able to calibrate correctly.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to hear some of the verbals here, but we pull them, we isolate them to the smoking section outside in a moment.
Drive. Oh, so we can drive sooner, we drink later. That's totally backwards.
Wait, she's coming to the Amazon.
Yeah, they.
All right, so Josh was already working logistics on his own. He hadn't been part of this interaction yet. And he's like, oh, she's down to come afterwards, right? But I'd already gotten them both on board before he even came in.
I want to drink. You know why? Because everything in San Diego closes at 2, which is early as shit. And it's your birthday, so we're celebrating. High 27.
All right, so let me jump to the part where we get them to leave.
Yo, I have a
here.
question.
You smoke?
Yeah.
Yo, quick question. Do you think it's better to live in a city where shit closes at 2? Because I find that like if shit's open till
Yes.
4 or 5, I'm gonna make pulling a little harder.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about that on the stream too, is the girls want to stay a lot of the times. If they're forced to leave.
And then they're tired by the time that it closes. And like, we just want to get back.
Yeah. That's kind of been my opinion too. Yeah. It's like sometimes you would think that like, oh, Miami's awesome, everything's open till 5 or 6 a.m. But I think that can actually be a disadvantage.
No, I want a place that closes at 12:30 so I can fucking go to sleep early.
I want a place that closes at like 10 p.m.
You're like, we gotta go. Check. Take
No,
a shot.
the sun is coming down. Everything is closing. We gotta go home. It's like 8 p.m. Everything's closing.
Yeah, like listen, what do you want? I would love to stay out, of course, but I guess we'll just go back and fuck instead.
No, that shit's so annoying when they want to fucking stay really late. Okay, so this is the part where we isolate them outside.
It's really fun. He just got a tattoo for his birthday. It's on his whole arm. Are you ready to go? Okay, let's follow them, and then they're getting a cigarette outside.
What are you saying?
So one of the okay, so this is back. So one of the things you want to do is you want to like move, even if you're not pulling the chick, you want to isolate her from where she's at, or move locations, get closer
to the exit.
Yeah. So also once you start leading them around and moving them from place to place, it becomes more just normal.
Compliance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the benefits of isolation is you're generating what's called compliance momentum. So they've already came to one place with you, so it's easier to make them go to the next place. And there's this stupid thing called building a bubble, where it's like you guys are remaining constant while the environment is changing. So it creates this illusion that you've spent more time together. And obviously when you isolate, closer to the exit, that's called baby stepping. It's getting them, it's like, here's the compliance test to pull. Here's going to the smoking section and pulling. It's 2 smaller steps, which makes the probability higher of them complying. Do anything else to add there?
No, that's pretty cool.
Let's go here. You smoke?
I don't know.
You smoke?
Look, more physicality here.
So you see, I came in real hard, real quick, physical. I screened for logistics. I was like, what are you up to later? She's like, oh, after party. I was like, they're down for the after party. More physicality. Then pull them outside, more physicality. And like, then I'm going to start answering objections. I'm going to start trying to pull. I'm going to seed the pull. And then when they have objections, I'm going to start answering them. And then as soon as it's ready, you pull the trigger and you go.
And lead. Yeah. So you'll see that happen here.
Sorry?
Do you smoke?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Me either. We'll just hang out over here.
If we were dating,
You get this necklace.
About the necklace? It's Egyptian symbol.
Egyptian?
Yeah, Egyptian.
I have a bunch of friends that live in Cairo.
Oh.
They said it just snowed. There was a snow there. Snow.
Snow?
In the past year, yeah.
By the way, Josh is 5'9" and has fucked hundreds and hundreds of girls. For all those of you that think that you can't bang girls if you're 5'9". which is a lot of people.
The average guy is 5'9". That's the average height. So why would that be an issue?
It's funny though, because like I had a guy that came on my program at age 42 at 2 lay count, and I had him come on the channel, and he had tried pickup trainings for 10 years, and nobody got him laid. He stayed stuck at 2. Craig, you know Craig, Alex, and he came on my week program, got laid 7 out of 8 times. The lawyer dude from Orlando.
Yeah.
But he got laid 7 out of 8 weeks on my program, and I had him come and tell the story. Now he's at like 23 lay count. He's pulled a threesome cold from the bar, 2 strangers. He's banged a stunner. He's got a dominatrix. He's into that shit. And guys are like, oh my God, so now he's banging a lot. Like, wait, how tall is he? And he's like 6'2". And they're like, well, that's why. It's like, guys, he was 6'2" his whole, when he was not getting laid. They're like, wait, does he dress well? He's like, I was actually dressing much better before.
It's so annoying. Like, why do you fucking argue about height when you can't change it? It's so stupid. Shut the fuck up about height and just go hit on girls. What the fuck do you sit around circle jerking about height for hours? You've spent fucking weeks of your life talking about height to strangers on the internet. It doesn't fucking matter, you fucking morons. Go out and what the fuck? What if I'm 5'5"? What if I'm 6'2"? You are what you are. Just fucking go spit game, you fucking idiots. You're so stupid. All of you are so dumb arguing about this. It's so annoying. I've had hours of my life have been drained from me by you idiots having to fucking argue about this.
Alex debates these guys, which is actually, kind of noble. As a lot of them are just trolls, but like there's tons of guys that say it's all looks, and these same guys that say it's all looks will call me a 3 out of 10, which defeats their whole ideology, because I have endless proof that I'm banging hot girls.
I'm 5'9". I don't have a problem at all.
It's over for you, Josh.
Typically, the guys who say it's all looks are the ones who do the least about their looks, which is funny.
Yeah,
it's so annoying. Like I get fucking paid to have to sit there and have this discussion over and over with these fucking dumb.
Wait, how do you get paid to debate people? I do.
No. Like I'll be on a boot camp and they'll be like, "What about the height?" And you argue, and or there'll be some sort of client session where they talk about the height. I'm like, listen, do you want to learn how to spit game, or do you want to have these fucking esoteric hypothetical arguments about maybe if you were taller you'd be getting? Who cares? What the fuck does it matter? Like, it's exhausting. I don't know how you have the energy to do this day in and day out. Like, how are you not tired of saying the same? Oh, it's height, it's looks. It's not because there's ugly guys that get laid.
It's path of least resistance. It takes less energy to make excuses than it does to go out and approach girls. So people generally try to take the path of least resistance. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like, this guy says it's not looks, just hair and height. Perfect. Nailed it. Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right.
Sold hand.
Let's watch the poll here.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about that?
No.
Wait, what do you do for work?
And New York. It's a job on the register.
All right, so he's getting this chick's number now, just in case. Again, you always want to get the number as a backup and frame the idea of you guys meeting up at another time, just in case the poll doesn't happen, because it's going to fall through sometimes.
Very fun.
No,
not really.
I like your glitter makeup. How much do you have a lot of glitter makeup?
You like everything?
No. Don't get too excited. No, I just like it's shiny makeup.
Oh.
No, but there was no convenience store. There was just an add-on outside of a store, and then we just took credit card payments as so that no one could pay cash. We didn't even take cash. So it was mostly I would just read books and talk on the phone.
I'm telling you about a retail job I had where I would read poker and neuroscience books. All right, let's get to the part where we take these girls out of here.
He does not have dark.
Do you speak Spanish? ¿Sí?
¿Qué parte eres? ¿De qué parte eres?
¿Paredes?
¿De qué parte eres?
Ah, ¿de qué parte eres?
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah. Más o menos.
Yo soy de Cali.
México? Mexicana?
They're like talking to our Mexican cameraman right now.
¿Eres mexicana?
Wait,
¿Sí?
you're gonna make me feel. Don't you like her headband? I love it. Shit.
Again, see the physicality. You basically treat the girl like she's a fuck buddy already. Okay, that's like the best frame to come from.
Take it easy, she's mine.
All right, she's yours. I'm gonna steal that. You can keep her.
Her headband matches her skirt.
Wait, what's in that box?
What's in that box? He like gets random food off this chick.
Her headband matches her skirt. That's nice. Wait, and the nails too.
Huh?
Your headband matches your nails and your skirt.
Thank you. Tacos, you want it?
You see?
Yeah, I want them. You're the best.
Oh my god.
This is my friend.
Yeah, we live 5 blocks up. Wait,
let's go fucking busy day though.
They turn the lights on here like 1:15.
All right, so like to your point, Alex, like I'm saying they turn on the lights at 1:15 and it's almost 1, right? Because the club closes at 2, but they turn the lights on early. And so I'm telling her we should go because they're going to turn the lights on soon.
It sucks.
What time is now?
It's almost 1.
You want to go?
Yeah, let's go. We have a bunch of people.
Just me and you.
No, we have a bunch. No, we have. Yeah, we already texted. So a bunch of people are on the way.
Okay.
Let's go. No conference.
No conference.
Yeah, get your purse.
I would always say that. Like we'd have like code words, like basically, like say like his girls into me and or vice versa. You can be like switch, and they're like yeah, and then you can switch chicks. No conferencing is one to yell out. Like you can just basically like quarterback like different things that are going on.
But
And the chicks don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, they have no idea what's going on ever. They're retarded. So then you see how they like when it's time to pull. So it's like, yeah, we got time. We got people coming to the house, and they're like, "There's no objection." The second there's no objection, pull,
Lead.
go.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Yeah, let's go." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So then instantly, all right, time to go. Like,
We already dealt with the objections beforehand inside, anyways. Yeah. And then you lead in the front by the hand.
How the nearest cab, please? Come on. I have to make sure you're okay, she said.
I'm okay.
You want to be my partner? Do you play beer pong?
Sorry?
Do you play beer pong?
Just.
Make sure in the back. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll
I know
I love your accent. It sounds so cute. You're like, I know I should meet with one goal or something. You can cross. You're like, I know I should meet with one goal or something.
Do you want to go out later?
The next cab, the cabs.
Yeah, let's do.
The cabs come by really fast.
Yeah. I'll see you later.
Oh!
Wait.
Huh?
It's like a 5 block.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk 5 blocks or do you want to wait for? It's easy to take a cab.
All right. So in this situation, I'm saying we can walk 5 blocks or we can just get a cab. Well, we were mentioning on our last stream, you don't want to like have like a stall out period because things can potentially blow out. I've estimated it's between like 8 and 12 minutes after you leave a venue or like, on the way home to pull. It's like 8 and 12 minutes, whether that be in a cab or even just walking. And once it hits that range, it's like, here's where the objections are. And then once it starts to fall beyond like 8 minutes or whatever, it's going to like, they're going to start being like, where are we going again? Maybe we shouldn't go. Maybe we should go back, blah, blah, blah. All the objections from before are going to come up in a weaker form. So what you need to do is banter and also, get them to move. That doesn't mean you can't do like 25 or 30-minute pulls. You just have to banter a lot more and keep the conversation going. And if you're in a cab, you can make out with the chick. And that stalls a lot of time as well.
I don't care.
It's easier to take a cab.
Oh my god.
No, don't worry. It's okay. They come by really fast.
Okay.
So
where are the other guys? I mean,
And we can't show cab footage. The privacy attorney we ran all this through, he said it's like expectation of confidentiality or
you
whatever.
told me that you should take some friends from where or what?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of friends in there and all different places that are on their way over to the house.
And you took a lot of phone numbers for this party. Why they're not here right now?
They're coming. Don't worry.
This is what you want.
Send me messages.
I did already. People know.
Oh, okay.
People know to come. Do not worry. It's okay.
Okay.
Do you throw a party in
Yeah.
You throw parties?
Yeah.
I've been DJing. I DJed in New York, in Philadelphia, in Washington D.C., in Baltimore,
Nice.
and then London. So like I'm used to throwing parties. It's okay.
Okay, that's great.
There's no need to worry.
Okay, so you're the best DJ
No,
ever?
I'm pretty good though. Here's a cab right here. Sure, come with me. In the front.
Take the front. This guy's taking the front. Jeremy, you guys fought. Could have made me for a great fight.
So let's just cut ahead to us getting out of the cab. We had to cut the cab footage, according to the attorney.
Was I sure in the back?
How do you get the Mexican guy in the cab without because at that point there's no way to.
We
We
would
would
tip the guy
tip the
extra
driver.
money to let another person stay. We'd be like, come on.
We'd usually put four of us in the back, and then
No. I mean, with the girl, because the girls at that point know he's with you, and it's like, who's this guy that hasn't said a word, who's been following us this whole time?
no,
Oh,
we
yeah,
introduced him.
no.
Like he was saying that's when they were saying the Spanish thing outside.
We would just always call him our son. This is our son. This is our son.
No, they didn't think he was really our son, but we would just say he's our friend with us.
No, we would call him our son. We're like, this is our son, baby Alex.
But they knew that it wasn't our son.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like a little dude. A lot of people didn't notice him a lot of the time. There's a bunch of the polls where I'm pulling solo where he's getting in the cab and shit, and like the girls don't even know. Like, but a lot of times they don't even say anything. And if they do, I'm like, oh, it's my friend. He was he's coming along or whatever. Or like with one of my cameraman, he would say that he like wanted to share a cab or whatever. And like,
what about once you get to the house, right? Because like you're doing like kind of like the after party frame, and then like how does that work when the girl realizes there's not like really a party going on? Is that ever an issue?
They usually don't give a shit. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Like, we don't pull as much with that anymore. It's more like just come back to the house and let's have drinks. Yeah. I don't like to create that. I don't like to pull groups, and I don't like to create the expectation that there's people coming over. But in these days, we would just say like, oh, people are on their way or whatever. But once you turn on music and you isolate and get into a makeout and shit like that, they don't really give a shit anymore. Right.
Okay.
But yeah, the closing odds definitely go way up when you just pull like a girl one-on-one, because the friends aren't going to cock block. So like, for everybody watching, like try to avoid pulling groups unless you're with a wing and it's just like a 2-set like this. So
yeah.
Thank you very much. No problem, dude.
Oh yeah, thanks for taking the shot. Thank you. All right, I'm responsible for this lady. Nope, we're staying. We're gonna hang out on the sidewalk. Not so close. She goes, "You coming?" No, we're gonna hang out over here all night. Sorry. You guys had fun.
Sorry about that. Maybe this way. Okay, bye guys. Have
See you.
fun.
See you.
No, when do we get married?
He's talking about marriage already.
Oh my god.
No, we're in love.
You can tell she's a raver because
I think you're just right.
I mean, we pull.
you have a girl telling you that she thinks you're so drunk that you don't know what you're saying.
And are you sure that you have a birthday?
Oh,
I want to see yours.
she's questioning it again.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna have to make up a fake ID.
I knew it. You're such a liar.
Yeah, why would you lie about being 27? Why wouldn't you say you were 21?
I'm only 22.
Oh, okay, I believe you.
Is this still on? Little man? Look at the red light. I
always be like scared our fucking camera was full or the battery died or some shit.
Shit, you have like a raver skirt. The red lights on? No, they know what a rave is. He's one of our funniest friends. He does. Oh, you can't speak. No, you can't.
See that was they started calling him right there.
Yeah. They would just think
It's like,
because
oh,
he
you
was like
can't speak.
he's like a little like kind of teddy bear,
So
little kid.
Greg Lorick says this is bad infield. Yeah, well, we pulled 2 girls straight from the bar and banged them. So it's really this is what it looks
You'll
like.
hear that no matter what. Like no,
Like
welcome
flashy
to
shit. Listen,
welcome to the world of
clearly
YouTube.
you don't know what game is, or you would have said that. You dumb motherfucker.
No, all these people will tell you what you did wrong and why they know.
Well, no, the thing is, what are you trying to do at the end of the day, right? Pull girls back to the fucking club and fuck them, right? So this was like completely just fucking we went in.
Just don't even read that shit. It's just a bunch of fucking losers all running their mouth all the time.
I mean,
You could show something that's technically perfect and they'll say this is horrible.
But
yeah, I get it. I get it all the time whenever I post Infield. It's always like, oh, you have your dog with you. That's cheating or something. Or
this
like,
isn't mad. This isn't angry. This is you're a fucking dipshit. I can't call someone a dipshit without being mad. All right, listen. You go in. There's physicality. There was screening for logistics. There was seating the pull. There was isolating outside. Then again, there was seating the pull. As soon as it was good to go, pull the trigger, lead them all the way in. This is what it is. This is what game looks like. If you're looking for something flashy and fancy, you should go to RSD and you should do like the hand of God and little spins and all that shit that doesn't fucking work and spin your wheels in the club. But if your end goal is to get fucking laid, this is how it's going to be done, right? You're going to move.
Was your girl Bulgarian or was she Latina?
She was Bulgarian.
They were both Bulgarian. They were like.
I have a picture of these that I can set a drink on.
Why were you guys speaking in Spanish then earlier? What was?
Damn man, chill. Fuck you, bitch.
Because the cameraman. The cameraman is Mexican,
okay.
And so we were talking about like, do you speak Spanish? But just look, this is more like fucking around.
I was confused by that. Why 2 non-Spanish people are speaking to each other in Spanish? But yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, this is just like some fucking around in the last part.
Maybe we hate you. Oh, but shit. But maybe we hate you.
It's not really my birthday, right?
It's your fake birthday?
Oh.
It's my real birthday, but apparently it's fake.
Hold on. I'll be not shit, but maybe we hate you. I'm so confused. I'm just from. She goes.
What
She
do you
goes.
want to say?
What do you want me to say? I'm just.
I took some girls' tacos and I ate them and they were so.
At the end, he said I took some girls' tacos and I ate them and they were so good.
Yeah, you know what story I want to tell? When you were talking about how like the more you have to walk, like the higher the chance for objection. Yeah, I remember this was like one of my favorite like night game pulls ever. It was like me and you remember BJ, like the jacked Australian dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and him were in Prague, and we like, well, it was actually me doing like 99% of the world. But anyway, we pulled these 2 chicks from the bar, and it was like everything was just like so spectacular because there's I can tell the full story, but there's so much shit that happens. It's on my website.
He had like angel wing tattoos or some shit, right?
Yeah. But so anyway, so the girls are like, they're like, we don't want to walk far. She's wearing heels. How close is this place? I'm like, oh, it's like, like 3-4 minutes away. She's like, okay, we're not walking more than 5 minutes. And like, I know the place is at least 20 minutes away, but also I horribly lost. We wound up walking for like 40 minutes, dude, when I told them it was like 3-4 minutes. And the girls is just like, you can just see how pissed off they're getting in their defense. Prague, for anyone who's not been there, the streets there are very like, not even. They're really not easy to walk on if you have heels. It's like, have you been to Prague? Any of you guys?
I haven't.
It's like old timey European like bricks. They're like, it's really fucking hard to walk on that shit if you're like wearing heels or just in general. So the chicks are all like fucking like eating shit as I'm trying to get them there. But I think you got to a point where like, okay, if we're not at your place in 1 minute, we're literally calling a cab. I'm like, okay. Like,
no, dude, we had this place that we were pulling from in San Diego a lot, and it was like maybe 11 minutes or 12 minutes walking. And like clockwork, this was so fascinating to me. Like clockwork, usually like 1 or 2 blocks. You remember this, Josh? Like 1 or 2 blocks from the house, they'd be like, "How much further is it? Maybe we should turn back."
Right there, and you'd have to point to the light. You're like, "See that light? That's."
If we pull from like Flux or like any of those places where we'd have to walk like 12 blocks, and they would like start to lose steam like 1 or 2 blocks before, and we would almost have blowouts. Some of them would blow out like 1 block away. That's how I started realizing, and the same phenomenon can be true in cabs and like. I just started like looking across the data. It's like 8 to 12 minutes, and it seems like there's just like this like drop in not like state, but like they're kind of concerned for danger or concern for the objections.
Nothing kills the vibe more like chicks in heels having to walk for like 20-30 minutes.
Yeah. And we'd be like, let's just call an Uber, let's just get in a cab, and they'd be like, no, we want to keep walking. And then like what's coming. It's like they're gonna walk 10 more minutes and then they're gonna fucking bitch out about it.
Yeah, they're always stupid when they do that. Well, hey, I gotta run. I gotta go to the gym right now. It was awesome talking to you guys.
All right, dude. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
I'll see you later. All right, adios.
Okay. You know what I typically what I found has worked pretty well in those situations. I kind of shame the girls for being lazy. So I'll be like, come on, like our ancestors used to walk like 100 miles a day, and you can't even walk for like 5 minutes. Like I try to do with like a small, sarcastic face, but basically I try to shame them for being lazy. I'm like, come on. Or your great ancestors used to walk 100 miles to kill a gazelle, and now you can't even walk 5 minutes. And the girls are like, yeah, you're right. That's what I found works pretty well. But yeah, cool. I mean, I think this was good stuff. I think at the very least it should be motivating to see like you can pull pretty quickly.
What's cool is I found a shitload of infield. Like I already had a lot of it edited, but there was like tons of raw footage that wasn't edited, and I couldn't find it anywhere on any of the drives. And I fucking found the external hard drives, and there's like terabytes worth. So we're gonna start releasing it all the time. And people can keep running their mouth. Yeah. So like, we're all about, we decided as a company, we're like just dumping extreme amounts of value, like really, really helping people for free. So that they can see like how valuable our shit is if they took the paid stuff. Right. So that's why we're running that 3-day event.
Yeah. It's been my business model for this whole time is just like put out massive value, and then like the people see, and then like usually they want to support you. But yeah.
Yeah, so September 9th through 11th. I know a lot of your guys need help with Cold Approach. You literally can join for free and learn my entire night game, entire day game. It's a 3-day event, starts next Friday and then goes Saturday and Sunday. The link is in the description for that. It's called Approach Breakthrough Challenge, but I highly recommend upgrading to the 97 VIP because you get lifetime access to the recordings. You get lifetime access to a whole bunch of infield. You get support in real time when you're not out and about doing the approaches, and you get a bonus 4th day and bonus Q&As with me and all that stuff. So yeah, check out that link. And it is like, it's not watered down or anything just because it's free or the 97. We're delivering the full system and
Can you explain how it works? Can you explain how the whole thing works? Like once they join, like what happens?
Yeah. So people that are part of the event, like you met Alan. Alan's my marketing business partner, and he's like the kind of co-host with me. So he kind of like sets the stage, like goes over the itinerary, all this stuff. And then I just crack straight into like teaching. So I'm going through like on day 1, I'm going through like all the fundamentals of night game. Day 2, I covered like more advanced night game stuff and day game. And then day 3, I like fill in a whole bunch of other gaps of stuff, but I'm showing infield breakdowns. It's just like tons of training on Cold Approach, and we have hot seats where we have guys like in the VIP, we have guys get featured and they get to ask questions. We go through guys' individual situations, and guys can ask questions all weekend that are in VIP in the Telegram groups. So the whole major goal is to get people past their approach anxiety and give them an optimal system for Cold Approach that they can use to start pulling on that same day they learn it. You don't need months or years of practice. And we're trying to show you, for those of you that are skeptical of that's true, now you can join for free and see it work for you. Because, we can show, we have 1,000 testimonials on a page, and guys can say, well, how do I know this is going to work for me? Or they can see infield, well, okay, that's good for you. How do I know this is going to work for me? Now you can join for free, see it work for you. And then when you see how quickly you get very good at Cold Approach, then you might want to learn the rest of the game in my 8-week program. I mean, that's our motivation from our end for doing this, partially our motivation.
Is there like specific instructions and like challenges and shit? Like do this on day 1, do this on day 2?
Yeah. So there's like specific homework and guidelines and stuff like that, and everyone's sharing their wins. There's like a whole Facebook group. There's the Telegram groups, and we show like on day 2 and day 3, we show like all the different awesome results people got on day 1. Just screenshots from the groups, screenshots from the Facebook. We have guys come on and tell their experience. It was actually really, really, really satisfying because we had over 700 people on the last one. We just did this for the first time.
a lot.
we did, and that's when we were charging 2 months ago. Now we're expecting thousands. And I'm coming on your channel here. There's like 10 other guys' channels that I'm going on this week, and I'm doing lives on my channel all week. And we're really getting the word out so that people can come and learn cold approach for free. But the last event was like a huge success in the sense that like people made tons of new friends and new wings. It felt really satisfying for me. Like we spent a fuck ton of time as a team preparing for the first one, and we're going to be, for people that were on the first one, there's going to be a lot more new content on the second one. We're going to have new guest speakers. We're going to have, I'm going to actually ask you to be a guest speaker. I think we're going to ask Paul Janka as well. But people just come on and give like a short talk, and you can tell people where to find your stuff. But the whole idea is just to like mass inundate people with value. But we spend so much time preparing all these like flow charts and like really making it as clear as possible. And guys get to keep all that material if they're in the VIP for life. So you'll have like a full cold approach training system for life for $97, plus like a coach with you. But basically, the guys are in the VIP. When they go out to the clubs and they run into a problem area, point of confusion, block, whatever, something bad happens, they don't know how to deal with it, they can message in the group. Like we're not there with them in person, but we're responding like really fast, like right away. We just segment guys by time zone. So we had like 6 groups, and I was monitoring all of them. And like, it was really cool because I was just like fucking chilling at the house with my chick and like assisting like 6 different chats, like answering questions immediately with the exact fix. So guys, there were guys pulling on the programs. There were guys getting lots of dates, lots of phone numbers, and just hearing all the feedback of like, wow, I never knew cold approach could be this easy, or I never knew that this is how I could solve the approach anxiety permanently, or, I didn't know I was capable of pulling. There was guys even pulling from the daytime. So I'm really excited to be doing this again. I think we're going to do it like once every couple months, but I highly encourage you. There's no catch. Like people are like, well, how can you teach us all that shit for free? As I said, our motivation, that's just cold approach is just part of the game, right? So our motivation is that you see how quickly and effectively the cold approach training works, and they want to be trained on the rest of the stuff, but you don't have to, right? And there's no, you don't have to input a credit card if you're signing up for the free admission. There's no credit card or weird fine print or any of that stuff. It's like legitimately free, and we're holding nothing back in the training. So it's going to be a really awesome experience. I'll talk to Alan about bringing you in as a guest speaker, because I think you're pretty much one of the only legit guys in the space, which is awesome, but also sad that the space is like that, but what are you going to do? So,
so for anyone who's into cold approach, which I think should be like the vast majority of people, you have nothing to lose. It's fucking free. I mean, why not do it? Like, literally, there's nothing to lose at all. Yep. Even like the $97 is like cheap as fuck. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's
for the 97, they're getting like $7,000 worth of shit. But we're basically trying to like, because there's lots of people that like can't afford to see if my training will work for them, or they're still skeptical for whatever reason. You can join for free, and you can take all the information in. And of course, we're going to say like, here's what you can do to like learn the rest of the system, but you're not obligated to buy anything. So
can you ask John what part of San Diego he recommends? Pacific Beach or Gaslamp?
Gaslamp, I would recommend. I think the order that we were doing for the clubs, the best 2 clubs in San Diego right now are Omnia and Park. I used to live across from Park. I had a penthouse right across the street. It was fucking killer, because I'd go out at like 2 a.m. sometimes. There'd be hot girls waiting for Ubers, and I'd just pull upstairs, or pull from the club, just going across the street and bring them back and do it again. So Park, but it's PARQUE and Omnia. Then Barley Mash is good almost every night. And Pacific Beach, Typhoon and Tavern, and the best night there used to be Tuesday. So we'd go to Pacific Beach on Tuesdays of our filming. And then the other good venues are Flux, the Hard Rock. There's a place called Float, which is at the top of the Hard Rock, where they have pool parties in the summer. And just like working the streets, because Gaslamp is like pretty compact. So you can go through like all of downtown San Diego in like 5-10 minutes. So the old before it became Omnia, it used to be called Stingery, and that was a really good venue too. We used to pull from there a lot. But yeah, like, so those are like the best spots. And there's like plenty of other smaller bars, but you want to stick to kind of the bigger spots. Like places like Omnia is going to be stacked up with hot girls and lots of hot hired guns as well.
Oh, one more question. When does the challenge start? When does it kick off? Is it next weekend or when?
Next weekend. So it's September 9th, 10th. Yeah, 9th, 10th, and 11th for general admission and for VIP. But VIP gets a bonus 4th day, which will be on the 14th, the Wednesday. But yeah, it'll be the 9th, 10th, 11th. I think last time it started every day at like 5 p.m. Eastern. So definitely, and if it's like, if you're in Asia or something like that, you can always watch the replay. Even for general admission, we're giving you access to the replays of the training for 30 days. But for the VIP, you get access for life. So I know a lot of your audience that needs help with cold approach. There's literally no catch. We're just trying to show you guys how quickly this can work and how effectively. And then, you'll become a believer that my shit's legitimate. So
yeah, guys, and as an added bonus, I'll jump on as a speaker so you get to see me. I don't know. I'll try to talk about something that I've never talked about before. So there'll be some additional value. I don't know what it is because I've talked about everything, but I'm sure I can find something.
It's not annoying. I feel like I've covered most topics.
Concepts I don't like talking about on YouTube. I could like cover there, especially anything with like pulling back to the house and shit like that. I don't really like to get into that on YouTube.
And it's all over Zoom. We send you guys a Zoom link, and then it'll be a Zoom event where we're presenting basically slide decks, but there's a lot of interaction with the viewers and all that stuff as well. It was super cool. I really enjoyed it. And a lot of guys. What's really nice is seeing like the wall of, because we have people on our team like capturing all the wins and the testimonials. So people are reporting stuff in the Telegram group. They're reporting stuff in the Facebook group. They're saying stuff in the Zoom chat. And by day 2 or day 3, we're showing like, look at all the shit that people are accomplishing here. And a lot of these guys, for the first time ever, they're getting phone numbers, first time ever they're approaching, first time ever they're pulling. And, I've devoted the past 15 years of my life to optimizing that system. Josh was very instrumental in the early days as well. We were figuring out a lot of this stuff together. So I think he was drinking through my whole stream. That's why he got boisterous.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. We did a stream for like an hour or 2 hours right before this one. So
how's he going to go to the gym then? He's going to like drop the weights on himself and shit. Have you shown you've shown your Tinder profile before, right?
Not my most recent one, but I'll show it right now. Let's see.
I've been banned from Tinder for the last 6 months.
So this is my main picture that I use. Again, not like ultra jacked, but aesthetically pleasing, good hip to waist ratio. My chick like analyzed this because we have like a guide that shows why pictures are good, and she thought that like the book in the corner, which wasn't even done on purpose, was good, and like the elegant background, and I look like friendly and happy. In my bio, it says, this is in Portuguese, but it says, my height, American DJ, but I already lived in Brazil over 2 years. CEO of my own company. I say marketing.
Harvard University.
Yeah, I do. I didn't go to Harvard, but I do put that because I'm very intelligent. I scored very high in IQ tests and stuff like that. I just want to convey intelligence, and Harvard is like an internationally recognized symbol for that. I think that's the only lie, though, besides my age. I'm going to be 39 in October, but I still have 32 to appear in more search results.
Do you recommend that for guys who are like in your age range to say they're 31, 32?
Yeah, I always recommend to my clients that you put it down to like whatever you can pass for. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. And you can tell them on the first date. Like I usually tell them like, oh, I'm actually this age. But they don't really give a shit. I would say maybe like once in a blue moon, they're like, oh, that's shady. But I just say, oh, I just want to appear in more search results. And there's been situations where like the girls, I'm like, I tell a girl and she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what's your max search age on Tinder? And she's like 35. I'm like, well, then we never would have met. And we had great chemistry and all this shit, right? But it's more important, I think, when a guy is like starting to hit 40. The guy's like 42. I think it's even more important to put it below 40 because there's like this conceptual ceiling. But it says traveler of more than 30 countries, gym and Muay Thai, and I speak Portuguese fluently because I said I was American. But here's my other pictures. That one's a little more serious. That's like a more close-up headshot. This one's just casual outside. This is more of like a club look. Another casual one, gym picture, and another gym one. But this performs super well. I have more leads than I can keep up with. Some people would say that's because I'm in Brazil. For the record, I arrived in Brazil at 1,179 lay count. Somebody just left a comment on one of my videos during this live where they're like, literally nothing, no advice you give could ever apply outside of Brazil. It's like, okay.
I think all the infield we went through was filmed in San Diego, right?
Yeah, I've fucked tons of infield. I have a lot of infield from New York. I have infield in Vegas. People are just dumb. They're always going to say, oh, he's tall and white. Okay, I have tons of tall and white clients that don't get laid. Oh, it's because he lives in Brazil. Okay, I already banged 1,200 girls before I got here, right? But whatever, they'll just keep trying to make up excuse after excuse after excuse. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are on the fence about joining that thing, like I said, it's literally free. So unless you're like too lazy to come attend and learn, which I think a lot of people are, but you shouldn't let that stop you. Even if you can't attend, like say you have shit to do next weekend, you can still sign up and then watch the recordings, which is going to be, extremely valuable as well.
Yeah, it seems like there's no downside, so why not?
Can I play like we have like a 2-minute thing of like people's experiences from the last one?
Yeah, sure.
Could I play that real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see where this is here. Looking through my files. There's like funny shit in here. All right. Do I sound like way better? I just finally got one of these stupid Shure mics. It's like
I think you sounded fine in the past, but no, it's
Yeah,
good quality. Yeah.
I was using a Yeti. Now I'm using this fucking Shure mic because everybody was supposed to be the standard. What mic do you use? Do you have a?
I don't even use a external mic.
Oh, you don't?
No, just my computer.
Oh shit, you sound fine too. Yeah, a lot of this is probably overkill. Okay, let me just bring this up real quick here. I wanted to make it clear, people didn't hear it before, that because I'm hearing fucking feedback all the time. Hey, your ex-coach Ryan said this, said that. Without getting into all the details, it's now a legal situation because he's fabricated. I have over 100 lies, full fabricated, recorded, well over. And he's on the hook for like 10 different counts. Defamation and slander is only one of them. He's in a whole fuckload of trouble. So I will make it all extremely public as I can, as my lawyers let me, but I wanted to address that because, he's basically been trying to like harm my business now for like 2 years, and I didn't sue him sooner because he's broke. But, the time has come.
He's no longer broke. Like, did he make some money, or what changed?
I don't care about winning any money off of him. He basically has 5 days to remove slanderous content. He's posted multiple videos where he's knowingly showing stuff from my paid products, which is a copyright violation, which is also a criminal offense. And it has $150K penalty attached to each instance, which we have a record of there being 2. And he puts a fair use disclaimer in the description, which means he willingly knew it was copyrighted material. And the case he cites is dog shit. I hired like one of the top lawyers I could find, and he's like, no, this case doesn't apply whatsoever, and this is behind a paywall. You can't go and show people shit. But so he's on the hook for a whole bunch of stuff. But we're going to move forward into a full lawsuit if he doesn't comply with the demands in 5 days, and we'll get court injunctions pretty rapidly to have all the fucking slander taken down. And I've been keeping evidence for like 2 years. We have gigabytes worth of text conversations, phone record, different recordings, different videos. Like the guy is like gone on like a full-fledged, smear campaign. He fed stuff to Modern Life Dating. He fed stuff to Kevin. He feeds stuff to the Black Pill guys. A lot of the stuff you guys see about like slander narratives against me and narratives that seem horrible, it's like him orchestrating that behind the scenes. And he's
check out this comment. This is hilarious. John, you're human, so of course it's easy for you to pull. If you were a dog, it would be harder.
It's a good point. It's a great point, actually. No, but I mean, I just wanted people to be aware of that because it's like the talk of the town. Ryan said this, Ryan said that, but it should be known to you guys that I can disprove almost all the things he said with hard evidence. And so I'll make a video showing all the proof that I have. He's just saying whatever he wants. Like, he's like, oh, he never worked on missile defense. He's committing a felony trying to use stolen valor, okay, pretending he worked on missile defense. It's like, okay, I'll produce record of my security clearance, my employment at Lockheed, my awards from Lockheed, all the emails with my coworkers and whatever other evidence. And he's on the hook for more shit there too. He's accusing me of felonies online and all. I've never ever been convicted of any crime. So, you know, it's sad. Like, this is sad that this kind of shit has to be done. And I didn't want it to come to this, but it's gone way too far. So it has to come to this, unfortunately. All right, but let me bring up this 2-minute thing that I wanted to show just really quickly here. Is there any other key questions to answer?
No, I mean, nothing really for now. Yeah, let's play the thing.
Okay. This is the thing here. I found it. Let's see. Walk through. It's just okay. There it is. Okay. I will share my screen here. No, Josh is pretty cool. You've already been talking to him in the group we're in and stuff like that, but he's actually really good at games.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. He's gotten way more jacked recently since those infields. Like, he's put on a solid 30, 40 muscle.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
he's like obsessed. Yeah, he's like obsessed with all. He does all the like macros perfectly. His gym workouts perfectly. That's like a big interest for him. Okay, so here I'm sharing this now. We will play this.
I actually didn't even know it was the same person until like we were part of the way into it, because he looks totally different. He's also got
a
tattoo.
Yeah, he just got some tattoos recently too. All right, so let me play this, and then you guys can ask any more questions.
I joined the Approach Breakthrough Challenge because I wanted to get better at cold approach with women.
I couldn't approach sober during the day. I had such bad approach anxiety.
I joined the Approach Breakthrough Challenge because John's on this from Bulldog Mindset.
My biggest breakthrough in learning cold approach system that you taught, John, you don't have to say stupid gamey stuff. You want to just make it more natural and social at first, and then you could start sexualizing at a later point.
My biggest Approach Breakthrough Challenge revelation was that girls can want to pull you from night game.
It was quite simple. I'm approaching thinking that she's better than me, so this advice, like just presume you're 100 out of 100, just kept reminding myself that you are good enough.
My biggest breakthrough in the Approach Breakthrough Challenge would have been actually breaking through some of the anxiety that I had that had actually been stopping me from going out of the house and trying to socialize.
So the biggest breakthrough I had was just realizing I gotta get it done, like right in that instant, within 3 seconds. I can do the opening very quickly. It's in the perfect frame. It's just showing that type of confidence from there.
A simple structure, just having it broken down into like a simple step-by-step process is a lot easier to understand. More just practical, straightforward. You can see what's happening like in real time.
I would say to anyone who's sitting on the fence about potentially joining one of John's future challenges, you're probably not going to learn this information by yourself. The whole thing is you got to learn from someone who's an expert in that field, dating as this is the example. The whole thing is you got to learn from an expert and then maximize their knowledge and go from there.
If you're on the fence, joining or not join, I got the value worth investment.
Once you've committed to a product, it feels more like you've taken a practical step forward. And then when the challenge is over, you're kind of excited the next morning, like, I guess I better go and try this out now. It just gives you a reason to go and put yourself out there instead of making all the excuses.
Knowing how to improve themselves with women and figuring out how to cold approach to a simple, easy method.
These challenges are really interactive and they're also very easy to follow.
You can overcome struggles like in a way which you don't feel alone, because I did it on my own, but I also did it on the challenge, and it felt like you all guys all on the same page, and it's fun.
Cool. This was pretty well edited. You gotta put me in touch with your editor. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
We've got a whole team of like 5 editors now. There's guys that do YouTube, there's guys that do TikTok and Instagram, there's guys that do our ads, there's guys that we're like doing a lot of paid ads and stuff now as well. And that's
You
why the
wanna see
channel is really jumped up. What's that?
You want to see my trailer real quick?
Yeah.
Let me play
Is
that.
it the podcast one?
No, it's a different one. This is for the product. Mine's only 30 seconds though. But
Share
maybe I
audio.
should-
Make sure you share audio.
I think it'll be good. Okay.
I'd like to make this review for the Playing with Fire 2.0 product. I bought the first one many years ago, and I thought it was a really good product. The 2.0 is something else.
What's up, guys? Welcome to our new product, the Ultimate Dating Blueprint 2.0. This is truly my masterpiece.
Playing with Fire has been an amazing tool. Everything you're about to see is 100% real.
Ever since joining the PWF and discovering the videos and also the product, especially the 2.0 version, is extremely comprehensive, made me the man that I want to be.
Plus, the community of guys is just not toxic. No games, just straight, cut the bullshit, good advice that will allow you to improve your dating life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard good things about your product. I haven't looked at it yet, but
well, you got the login, so you can feel free to look at it anytime. But yeah, I think it's really good. I'm happy with it. Vast majority of people are loving it. There's always like the 0.01% who's like, oh, I was expecting more. Insert random things that has nothing to do with game. I was expecting more dick pics. You really didn't show your penis that much. It's like I barely got to see your dick at all. I want to get a refund on this, but yeah.
That's crazy though that you guys had. How did you have Knit and Eat Pussy in there, Indian P? Like, where do you host the video?
Yeah, she agreed to it. We're using a third-party hosting for that. We're not hosting it on our main thing. But yeah, she was down with it. It was a chick he was hooking up with. Pretty hot girl too. I actually met her a few times.
I've thought about, because I've got chicks that would be down to go on Pornhub and shit. I've thought about just showing all the techniques on Pornhub.
I 100% think you should. I mean, I've been telling you that for a while. Yeah, I definitely think you should. Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in that. A lot of guys don't really know how to like fuck a girl well, and like that's a big struggling point for them.
I made a 30-minute video that I have in the eBook program that goes through how to hit the G-spot in all the major positions, and it had the unintended consequence of it happened multiple times where virgins said the first time they ever had sex, they got feedback like, "Wow, that was the best sex of my life. Wow, I didn't know people could be that good in bed." So that goes to show, that kind of blew my mind. I was building it for guys that were like already having sex, but that goes to show that like you can get into the top like point whatever percent of sexual skill from a 30-minute video. Like they only watched, like one of the dudes watched it like twice, and the first time he ever had sex, he like knocked it out of the park. So I just made it straightforward and simple. So and that's not even with demonstrating on a chick. So it's like the same thing with sexual techniques as it is with game strategy. You can learn this stuff like very fucking quick. You don't need months or years or like a decade plus, as like RSD and a lot of these companies led people to believe.
Yeah. I do think there's definitely a lack of good information when it comes to, like, there's some instructional videos on Pornhub, but they're kind of buried, and like, you're not going to really find those just like fucking browsing through Pornhub. It's mostly just like big tit stepsister gets fucked by her brother or something like shit like that.
They're all fucking, it's all stepsister and bullshit like that.
Yeah, it's a popular trend nowadays. But yeah. But yeah, guys, check out John's program. It looks good. Like, why fucking not? It's free. There's no
I was like, because I put a lot of fucking time into developing that system. So at first I was like, okay, we're really giving this away for free, because it's stuff. Like, there's one other thing to add on there is it's like it goes far beyond YouTube content. There's stuff that I purposely don't cover on YouTube, like a lot of the most important secret sauce type stuff, because I leave that for the paid programs. But in this training, we're holding nothing back. So I'll be going over my 14 major objection responses to the 14 objections, my poll scripts in the first half of the night and the second half of the night, like full details of how to pull from start to finish, baby step, deal with the friends in the group, isolate, escalate, sexualize your verbals, literally everything. So, which, it like part of me, again, like I was like, how are we giving that for free? But on the last one, like lots of guys were so blown away that they then came on Today Week thing to learn the whole thing, right? But they don't have to. It's not. There's plenty that didn't too. So we're just trying to show people like, you know, we can deliver the goods. Kind of like what you said you've been doing on your channel. That's why I was, you know, even when you first started off on YouTube, I was on Facebook is where you started off. But I was very impressed that you would give like these giant like things where, you know, totally for free, like giant answers in the forums, full detailed stuff on YouTube. Like, you know, you put out some of the most value in the space without asking for anything in return, which is awesome.
Yeah. Cool, man. Do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you want to comment on before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I mean, just check out my channel, John Anthony Lifestyle. My 8-week program is at platinumdatingsystem.com. And this 3-day challenge that will be next weekend, September 9th through 11th, that is free, or 97 for the VIP. That's in the description as well. So, but yeah, thanks for having me. I've been on live streams for like 5-6 hours now.
Yeah, guys, check out John's channel. On our end, what do we have coming up? I think Monday we got the group podcast. There's going to be another round of speed dating either tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. I'm just waiting on a few things to confirm.
How have the other, like I was on the one time, but how have the other sessions went? Like, what's like the average percentage of like the random people the girls want to see again? It's like small.
Very, very small. Most guys bomb. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what's cool to see? I've been doing this for about 3 weeks, and there's some guys who come on every single one of them, and I can actually see the improvement. So the first one, they suck.
Oh, really?
The second one, sort of suck. But like I've actually seen the improvement with the guys who come out consistently. They're still not that great, but they're actually doing a lot better than they did on the first one. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, guys have to realize there is a full strategy to this stuff. So like when I did the speed dating thing, there was 7 guys before me. I honestly didn't watch any of them. I just came on. I caught the guy right before me. But I was like, how many of these 7 did the girl want to see again? And you were like, only 1. And it was that Christian finance dude. And I was like, you know, what's your lay count? And he was, you know, you were laughing that, you know, I always ask that, but he's like 82 and he's 22 years old. And I was like, nice. How did you get there? And he's like, I'm a big fan of you and Alex. So like through and I think he has both our products. So through our teachings, he was able to be one of the standout guys that was able to like pass it's kind of like a litmus test, right? It's not like the be all end all. Like you could potentially not vibe with one of the girls, but I think a lot of people expected me to bomb it. I don't know why. I've been on over like 1,000 dates, but the chick wanted to see me again too, in case you guys missed that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool concept. It would be interesting to do more stuff like that, like kind of real time where people are watching, you know, for people to, or maybe even if there was like more breakdown after or something like that to show people where they went wrong.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing them. I'm gonna keep tinkering with the process. But yeah, definitely next time you want to come on, feel free. The invite is always there. But yeah, I'm gonna keep tinkering with the process. How
did it go? Yeah, no, go ahead.
So one of the things I started doing is having 2 girls on, and then I have an option. You can either go with one girl, the other girl, or both girls at the same time. So I think that's interesting. So like, you know, sometimes when you're out at a bar, you have to talk to 2 girls at once, right? You can't always talk to a girl by herself. So there's like little things like that I'm doing to like, I don't know, like make the process better. But
I was gonna ask you though. I saw it pop up in my notifications, but I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. How did it go against the Crucible with you and Destiny?
Most people are saying we won. I would say like 70-80% have been saying that. It was interesting for sure. I think we probably got the W on that, but it's hard to say. It just depends on what side you're on. I mean, their chat hates me. Like they think I'm like a complete degenerate, like fucking hedonist who just like, I don't know, who's just like waiting to get AIDS. And that one was on their channel. So their chat was like vehemently against me. But then when I like, typically, this is what I've noticed. This is a funny observation. So when I do a debate, if no one messages me after the debate, then that means I didn't do good. If I get a bunch of messages from people, that means I won, right? Because no one's going to message you and be like, yo, you fucking lost, bro, right? Like, yo, your friends are probably not going to do that, right? But so if I don't hear from like a bunch of people after debate, then I know I'm like, ooh, I didn't do good. But if I get a bunch of like DMs and shit, then that usually means I did well. And that's what happened after that one. But yeah, going back to the speed dating concept, I do think it's a good. I do like the idea of having a bunch of coaches on to show on like different styles, right? Because like everyone has different styles, so I think it is good to do that and then like do a breakdown. I don't know, like when I was debating Coach Whitepill, he was like saying he's like, dude, you're like setting up these coaches to fail. But I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I'm not trying to like, yeah, I don't know why. I think he's just projecting. But I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't want the coaches to fail. I want the coaches to succeed. The whole point is to show good game, not like yeah, like why the fuck would I want anyone to fail? Like I want everyone to succeed and like show good game. So yeah, I know. I thought that was
that's weird.
Ridiculous.
Why did he? He thought like some people were like getting set up to like look bad or something.
His argument was because there were some people in the one of these streams that was saying the Charisma King didn't do that well. So he's like, oh, you ruined his reputation. I'm like, no, I didn't, dude. Like he fucking, first of all, he did okay. And second of all, he's like totally he's gonna come on for another one. Like, so clearly he's not mad at me. But yeah, the one from last night was really interesting. It was a chick who's a dominatrix. It was a dominatrix chick. And
like
I had a turn.
like, was she cool?
No, she's cool. No, she's cool. I had a turn. Who else? Prinzo had a turn.
Prinzo's cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
I did a stream with him.
Yeah,
he's in DC, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that one was good. I mean, I thought it was like a good demonstration of how to, because you do want to game some girls a little differently. Like I wouldn't talk to the dominatrix chick the same way I would talk to like a nice, cute, like feminine girl. You know, it just would be different.
Yeah,
how you would handle that situation.
Yeah. So what I tell guys is there's kind of a one size fits all approach to dates, but then you need to calibrate. So based on how if the girl's like responding, like slightly offended or taken aback by your sexual jokes, then you can tone it back. If she's being like, making jokes like that herself and being all into it, you can ramp it up. So that's the whole notion of calibration. But there is like a standard game plan on how to run dates that's going to give you success most of the time. And then the adjustments just help you adapt to get maximal advantage.
Yeah. But anyway, man, yeah, we've been on for 2.5 hours. So, yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this stream. Check out John's channel. Check out his challenge. I'll be doing some kind of a speech there. I'll try to keep it interesting. I'll think of something that I haven't talked about yet, or maybe I'll do something.
I don't know if it needs to be about a cold approach or not, but I think it could be something related to like you said, like what to do in the end stages of game and stuff like that, like when you're pulling or at the house or,
Yeah, I'll think of something interesting. Yeah, cool, guys. All right, appreciate y'all. Until next time.
All right, thanks, guys.